What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you good on this here?
All right, it's good to hear you. Your mic sound kind of turn it down a little bit. All right, should be good.
Hey,
What's going on? Wait, no,
JR.
Khalil, how you doing? Let me just double check and see where he's at. Got a short show for you guys today, man, but I do got a couple videos that I want to react to. What's going on, B Sammy? How you doing? Tony Robinson, welcome as you guys come in. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you are catching this on the replay, make sure you guys hit that like button as well. Let me just check on Will and see where he's at. You guys got any special plans today? Anything exciting? Anything y'all looking forward to?
Chill cooking. I have not cooked in a long time. It's track season. So I'm busy. So I want to cook.
Oh, what are you cooking?
I'm going to make my mama biscuits and some cod cubes, some jalapeno cod cubes and kale. Sauteed kale.
What the hell are mama biscuits? I mean, are those like special type biscuits? A recipe your
I
mom
said my
handed
mama
down?
biscuits. You didn't watch Martin? No, I make
Yeah, I
biscuits
watched.
from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, my
But
mama taught me
that's
how to
what you
make
call them?
them. My mama biscuits. Yeah, because my mama taught me.
Oh, okay. I thought they was like some special type of biscuits, like with your a recipe your mama might have gave you.
It is.
So it is. Okay. All right, I got you.
All right. Well, you say he's about to ready to pop on. Tomorrow's my mother's birthday. She'll be turning 64. So we plan on taking her out.
Happy
for a little-
birthday, Mama
brunch.
JR.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be sure. I'll make sure to let her know. What's going on, Will? How you doing, brother?
What's the word? What's the word, brother?
Not much, not much. Let's go ahead and get into this first clip, man.
Y'all can hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, bet.
All right, let me wait till Hank come back. You ready, Hank? You ready, Cookie?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
To undergo for the next year the greatest social experiment ever. I just moved in with another single mom. We did it. We did it. We're going to save money. We have a house. It's like a family house with a yard. I'm going to get chickens because I want to be a chicken mom. I'm going to build a fucking chicken coop. I just pressure washed the garage. Pressure washed. It was so satisfying because we're going to turn it into a playroom. It's just... I'm going to make content about all of this. I'm going to film all of it because men didn't show up for us. You know what? We're showing up for each other and we're going to figure it out. And I also am really poor and I want free furniture. So I'm just going to keep making content until like some fucking furniture brand sends us a table because I don't have a dining room table and I can't afford one right now. So just follow along. It's going to be a shit show. It's going to be fun.
I know, Will. Will, you didn't see that clip, right? I'm gonna run it right back real quick just for you, man.
I'm about to undergo for the next year the greatest social experiment ever. I just moved in with another single mom. We did it. We did it. We're going to save money. We have a house. It's like a family house with a yard. I'm going to get chickens because I want to be a chicken mom. I'm going to build a fucking chicken coop. I just pressure washed the garage. Pressure washed. It was so satisfying because we're going to turn it into a playroom. It's just... I'm going to make content about all of this. I'm going to film all of it because men didn't show up for us. But you know what? We're showing up for each other and we're going to figure it out. And I also am really poor and I want free furniture. So I'm just going to keep making content until like some fucking furniture brand sends us a table because I don't have a dining room table and I can't afford one right now. So just follow along. It's going to be a shit show. It's going to be fun.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So she says men have given up on them. So they got to come together. You got two single moms with two toddlers, two dogs, one house. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. How you guys feel about what was just stated by that young lady in the situation that she is creating, or that they are creating?
Let's just say, so are they lesbians, or is she just saying they? I'm confused. They just
Not,
moving in together?
yeah, but it sounds like they're just moving in. What it looks like.
Oh,
I
I
say
would
more
do
power
it.
to them. If that's how you want to live your life. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? If that's how they want to live their life, I mean, if they're doing it because they can't, I mean, if they're doing it to oppose men, then I think it's a problem. But if they're doing it because that's how they choose to live their life, I don't have a problem with people choosing to live their life the way they want to live it. But if you drag men in the process, I think that's problematic, because she's attractive enough. She should be able to get a man. If she can't get a man, it's probably something indicative with who she is as a person. I don't know what the other woman looks like, but that woman shouldn't have a problem getting a man.
What about you, Khalil? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that
right.
you said what?
I think we got a delay, but go ahead, Hank, and then we'll get to Khalil.
It's a delay on mine.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead, man. Since you got a delay.
If I got a delay, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go out and come back in, man.
No, it's Hank that has always had a delay. So let's just let Hank go, and then you go ahead, Khalil.
So let's try this again. I guess I got a delay. My apologies. I know you said you don't know how the other woman. I don't think about it. We've seen some dudes get some ugly ass chicks, and it is what it is. I mean, so, but I look at it like this. I think a lot more women gonna have to do what they're doing. They're gonna have to accept the golden girl approach and just come together. Look, there's not enough good men out here for all these women. That is not enough men, period. Let's say, let alone good ones. And for the good ones, they got the pick of the litter, so they're gonna pick and choose what they want. And if they don't feel like you're suitable enough, whether it's because of your attitude, you know what I'm saying, or you just don't bring enough for what they consider to their table, they're not gonna choose you. So now these women have to mount up and do what they got to do to survive, I feel like. Now, ladies, I'm definitely encourage you to start getting your Nancy Harden on and taking some cats out by the knees in order to get what you need and get that man. If that means your friend is seeing a man, and at the same time, you better push her to the side and get to that man fast, quick, and in a hurry. Don't try to slow walk it. Don't try to be cool and smooth your way on over, because by then, your girlfriend had already put the move in on her. Now he's enamored by her, and you just missed out. No, ladies, y'all better be willing to fight, compete, and get out there and grind if you have to for that man. Now, if you come, what was you about to say, brother?
You add something to what you're saying. They're still looking for a man because she's looking for some sponsorship. The likelihood that it's a woman owning a furniture company that's going to sponsor them is slim to none. So it's still going to be a man.
Yeah, she just I think that's just part of her means of looking for a hand-me-down. You know, I think at the end of the day, she really wants a man. She hated that she has to shack up with this woman. You know, she even made it, you know, the men that the men realize you're not worth getting with for multiple reasons why. So they're not going to accept just anything from you. So, I mean, she's mad about that. They want her to accept her bullshit, whether it's her dogs, you know, whether it's her child, or whether it's just her and her shitty ass attitude. No man's going to put up with it. No man with the right salt. Now, you might find a desperate man. You know, love after lockup does exist. And so you can find some dude that's looking for a sponsorship himself. So two individuals looking for sponsorship, maybe y'all be successful. Now, I'm not going to say, let me take it back. Y'all may not be successful, but at least y'all have somebody to to hold on and to keep warm at night, but don't mean it's going to be a successful one. But you at least have somebody looking for out there being desperate and needing what they need. But I don't know how successful it's going to be, but at least you have somebody, if that's what you're looking for. Now, more than likely, you're not. She seemed like she's too bougie for that shit. But right now, she's got to accept her girlfriend and live the life that they need to live. I'll leave it there.
All right, go ahead, Khalil.
I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. That's cool. I don't really have no gripe towards it. It's not too much of a think piece for me. I mean, people told them it was gonna happen if they kept acting the way they was acting. So I mean, you want to move in with another single mom, see how it works, save your money. I mean, go ahead. It's gonna be a lot more of it going around. It is what it is.
Well, I don't recall exactly what she said in the video, but they're both single moms, right?
No, I think
Well,
she's.
I'm gonna play this clip where she answers the question to somebody in the chat. So let me play this.
I actually want to answer this because it's kind of amazing. I didn't really know Amber before we moved in. We have a mutual best friend, and we both have a lot of similarities in our stories and our past, and so we were both in tough spots, and we were like, all right, let's help each other, let's do this. So we decided to do it. But I had a lot of fears going into this, just about everything. And one day, when we were at this mutual best friend's birthday party, she grabbed me and she said, Chanel, you keep worrying about the dogs, about the kids, about you worrying about everything. But if we're good, they're good. That healed like 10 years of trauma for me. And I was like, oh, I have to immediately live with this woman. I can actually care about my own well-being. I have to care. Wow, you're right. You being good as a mother means everything is good.
So that conversation healed 10 years of trauma. Well, these women are so damaged. It's insane. And they lack leadership because we
want to be leaders, bro.
We sent these women on crash courses of being boss bees, right? The college system, careers have done a number on women. And they're at the point now because they didn't keep their legs. If you're going to go the career route, I think you need to get your tubes tied. You don't end up pregnant. Just like a guy getting a vasectomy, right? If you're out here letting dudes, you're having your, doing what dudes do, you sticking and moving. I call it FSL. Lick and stick. When they out there doing what they do, then you wind up pregnant, but you ain't got a man, you a career woman, you didn't plan for this, you have to try to find some type of substitute. And the only substitute I guess they're coming up with now is shacking up with another woman who has similar circumstances. But now you're putting quote unquote trauma on top of trauma. And now you have two women who ultimately that's not going to work because these women tend to at some point bump heads. They're going to try to out alpha each other at some point because they're trying to be in an alpha role. They're both in a provider role. Neither one of them are submissive. If they were submissive, they don't have a man. They're both in a provider role. They come into a household together. At some point, one of them is going to have to dominate the other one, or it's just not going to work. I just don't understand why we send women on these crash courses to go become successful when we don't push them to learn how to coexist with a man. That should be like life 101 for the average woman. Learn how to coexist with a man. And if you still want to have a career and everything, and if it works out within your relationship dynamic, go ahead and do it. But to seek the career first and then try to figure out how to coexist with a man, that's working backwards.
All right. And well, your audio is kind of muffled, and I'm hearing like feedback when you're moving your hands. I don't know what you're using.
I ain't touching nothing. My computer's on my desk. That's weird.
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave it come back.
Yeah. All right. But I don't know what's good. It just sound like you sound either far away. It sounds muffled. The audience is saying it as well.
Okay.
All right. All right. Go ahead, Cookie. Did you want to respond to what you've seen, the 2 videos you've seen thus far?
I only saw the first one. I was too busy changing locations and resetting my modem. I finally got it to work. So the girls living together with another single mom. And then what else happened? I can't hear you.
You don't,
I said I'm gonna play to you the clip where she says how they met, because somebody in the comments did ask how did they
Okay.
meet. This is what she had to say.
I actually want to answer this because it's kind of amazing. I didn't really know Amber before we moved in. We have a mutual best friend, and we both have a lot of similarities in our stories and our past, and so we were both in tough spots, and we were like, all right, let's help each other, let's do this. So we decided to do it. But I had a lot of fears going into this, just about everything. And one day when we were at this mutual best friend's birthday party, she grabbed me and she said, Chanel, you keep worrying about the dogs, about the kids, about you worrying about everything. But if we're good, they're good. That healed like 10 years of trauma for me. And I was like, oh, I have to immediately live with this woman. I can actually care about my own well-being. I have to care. Wow, you're right. You being good as a mother means everything is good.
Well, I try not to judge the way people live. I don't know. I feel like it could work. I mean, it's worked in the past with women civilizations, but I mean, I guess it's not optimal, right? But if she has nothing or feels like she has nothing or is in a situation where she feels like she's always struggling, I think while she's in this situation, maybe she should definitely still try to figure out what's going on with her, where she cannot find a relationship with a male that will provide for her. Maybe. But until then, I mean, having a roommate, people have roommates in New York. Like that's not uncommon, you know. I guess that's all I have to say. I don't want to sound too judgy. I just don't want her to give up on life and a potential partner because she's comfortable, I guess.
When you say give up on life, what do you mean give up on men?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the issue that I had as well. And I think Will spoke a little bit on it, that if she's has something against men, I mean, we can't tell her whether she should deal with men or not, but it almost seems like she's running. Somebody even said in the comments she's a fairly attractive woman. Like, what reason should she have as far as when it comes to attracting a man? And maybe the issue could be her knowing how to communicate and knowing how to exist in a relationship. Um, I would wonder how her relationship is with other women as well as men as far as communication. And it may not just be with everyone, because clearly if she's able to live with her friends, she does know how to coexist with somebody. But I think there's something that's deeper that's there. And the one thing that I can't take away from this conversation is that I want people to really vet who they are with early on, so you don't have to deal with these situations. And I do understand the sensitivity of that. Even though you vet properly, there's still a possibility. But I think we should be pushing more emphasis in making sure that when we do bring kids in, that moving forward, even if we've made mistakes ourselves, that we try to educate our children to bring children in an environment where it can be healthy. And I think that's what will make it better if we focus on people that's immediately close to us to be able to push that message.
Hey, how does my mic sound now?
It sounds much better.
I know what the problem was. Somehow my phone turned into a microphone and it transferred the audio to. I don't know how it happened, but
Yeah.
To touch on her point about women being roommates in New York, I mean, being a roommate is typically reserved for people when they're starting their lives out. It's not usually what you do when you start having children. Clearly, these women are both single moms, so they open their legs up to somebody. They started a family with somebody, and now they're. I find here's what I want to say. I find it strange that women do this and women support this. Why is it that women are always the single parents with the custodial power? Why is it that women tend to have the children more than the men? Women struggle to move on in life when they have children, yet we keep allowing women to be custodial parents when relationships end.
It's the government, bro. It's they choose it in the courts, bro.
No,
That's
I
it.
understand. I understand the legalities of it. I'm saying the social dynamics of it. We women accept it, women push it, and it's like, look, most women would rather a situation like that. Go ahead.
They wouldn't get no benefits without the children, bro.
But they don't need the benefits if they didn't have the children. Think about it. If you are a woman and you single, you have your beautiful children, they live with their father. Their father is taking care of them. Chances on you paying child support is slim to none. You get to go have sex with whoever you want, party however you want, work however you want, and women always make the claim that if the father had the children, that they will support their kids. Cool, go work and send him child support so he can better care for the kids. And if you
Women
don't send child support, maybe he ain't even gonna trip.
women are more emotional. The feedback that I get when I raise that question to women is they can't fathom the thought of carrying a baby for 9 months and then just giving it away to the father. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really a selfish thing of why they don't do that. It's like, okay, this is my baby. I want this baby. If I got to struggle with it, it's okay as long as we have each other type shit. That's how they really, in a nutshell, that's kind of how they feel about it.
I understand, but I hear women say this all the time. I'll do anything for my kids.
No, they won't. They lying, bro. They're lying.
I know they're lying, and I'm removing the veil, right? I'll do anything for my kids, but give them to their father.
Or stay with their father.
So let me ask you this, Will. Do you think it depends on the sex of the child?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
I do.
not. Boy.
I do.
Well, we don't have a problem with women raising boys.
I do.
Okay, no, I'm talking about we as a society, right? Not you. You your own individual thought, right? And we can go back and forth on your thought, and I'm not telling you your thought is necessarily wrong. I'm saying as a society as a whole, it is normal for women to have these children and then move them into a roommate situation. How often have you seen a single dad in a roommate situation with another single dad? But you see single mothers with children roommating with other single mothers with children all the time. That's nothing new. But men don't find themselves in those situations. They might have their kid at home with their parents, their mama or whatever, but I've never seen a situation where two single men that were dads had their children and they were shacking up together. Well, I shouldn't say shacking up together. They was living together as roommates.
I mean, if it was, I would have to say that if it was as common as if men were single parents as much as women were single parents, I would say I could see it being a possibility. Like, I could just see it being a possibility. I wouldn't see it being totally out. Like, damn, bro, I got my kid, you got your kid. Man, I ain't about to get married no time soon. I'm getting to the bag, bro. I need a couple years just to, you know what I'm saying, have somebody go half on this rent with me, and I got my kid. So I could see I could see it happening if men were doing the same thing in mass. But I don't think men would fall in. I don't think men would fall into that role because we like our own space too much. You know what I'm saying? We like to control shit, and with another man being in the house, you really can't control it.
That's what I was about to say. See, I could see it being more common. I just don't see it being too common because, again, women are submissive. So naturally, the idea of living with another woman initially sounds good because it sounds like help. I don't think men who this doesn't apply to all males, obviously, but men who are trying to be the head
don't want help.
They can't live with another head. That's not going to work. Even if they don't have their money right, they could be a dusty. But if they view themselves as the head, how do you then go live with someone else who views themselves as the head.
Well, I think it's
No homo, right?
okay. Oh, is that what you wanted to say? Okay. So I thought I think on the situation you just explained, maybe if they're relatives, you could probably see two fellas, you know, saying trying to make it to get, you know, to come up or something like, but not strangers. Now, I mean, I couldn't imagine living with my buddy for a long period of time. I mean, the only time I stayed with my buddy, man, when I stayed on this couch, when I was in the midst of a divorce, you know, and I stayed with him for 2 weeks, and that was it. And I couldn't imagine a whole year or years on end and doing something like that. Like you said, Will, it's going to eventually be a conflict of because you got two bullheaded dudes staying there and we trying to figure it out. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. But as far as what I was telling you, I think it really depends on the sex of the child. Now, with me, I had my daughter when I didn't have no wife or no girlfriend at the time, and I had custody of my daughter. It was tough. It wasn't easy because unfortunately, in the midst of me having it at the time, she started having periods. Well, me, I have no idea about menstrual cycles. I don't know anything about periods. I don't know anything about what pads she need to have, what she needs to do to clean. I didn't know those things. I had no idea, and I had to have advice of a woman in order to help me to figure that shit out. And even so, I was still learning because not every pad every woman could use. It depended on their pH balance and all of that. So I'm going to talk to her doctor. You know what I'm saying? Another woman trying to get these answers. My mom trying to get these answers. What I need to do. You know, I had no idea about period underwears. You know, I mean, I knew, but I didn't know directly like they know. You know what I'm saying? I asked a woman, well, you wear these ugly drawers when you're going through your situation so you don't mess up your good ones. I didn't know that. So now I got to buy my daughter a special pair of underwears in order just to wear while she's going through her shit. I'm learning all of this shit. So as a man, it was difficult. It's challenging at times because you're like, God damn. And all the mental shit you got to deal with. Now I'm dealing with a 12-year-old girl who's going with her hormones all over the place, man. I'm like, Matt, what? I'm used to dealing with a grown woman. At least she knows better. You talking about a little girl who's just learning, getting through it. She's learning and I'm learning at the same time. So, you know, you have all of those challenges. That's why I said it depends on the sex of the child.
Well, that's a short window in that child's life. So it's going to be challenging, right? It's not supposed to not be challenging because the dynamic is wrong. A man and a woman supposed to be in a household together, raising their children. And when that gets disrupted, the child is going to go with him or her. Now, think about this, though. We're so comfortable with the children being with the mother, and we talk about the nurturing aspect, which is very, very important. I don't think men nurture better than women. I don't. I won't even try to act like men are even remotely in the same league as nurturing as women. But are women in the same league of protection that we are? Are we saying our child is more important that they're nurtured than protected? We think women always talk about how men are the leaders, men are the protectors. But when it comes to those babies, they'll be more than happy being a single mom in a house with no man. The house ain't protected. That child's protection don't matter at that point. The child having a proper leader don't matter at that point. Now, granted, the child may be 1 to 5 years old and the nurturing may be more important than the leadership to some capacity. Yes and no. But that child ain't going to be 1 to 5 forever. At some point, do we transition the kid to the father? The young girl, although you're going to struggle with her menstrual cycle time frame, she's going to go through her menstrual cycle until she hit menopause. But, you know, for your time frame, it's going to be from 12 to 13 that you're going to probably be dealing with, trying to figure out how to make sure she's good. Once she's been dealing with it for her first year of menstrual, she's going to be handling that on her own. Her mother's not going to be in there every time changing her pads with her. That's a short window. But that girl misses out on the love of a father, the leadership of a father, the protection of a father, the provision of a father. We're just too comfortable with women raising children single in a single household. Our society is just too comfortable with that dynamic, and that dynamic alone is producing majority of our problems in our society, whether people want to admit it or not.
All right, go ahead, country.
Oh, I agree with Hank. And somewhat with Will, or not. Is that who is that? Pick and choosing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's real. Yeah.
After is that my dog? Hold on. I'm sorry, bro. What are you doing? After a certain age, especially with boys, I feel like boys should live with their dad. Period. No fight, ma'am. Give if he's not an outstanding. If he's a citizen doing a work, doing man things, give that little boy to his dad. I feel like if a woman is a good woman, she definitely. I think people need to just grow the fuck up. If y'all can't be together, you at least have to learn and be able to parent together. And if that is being with one or the other parents, if your brother got to go live with your dad and the sister needs to stay with the mom, and both of y'all are good people, I don't see anything wrong with it being like if it's a girl, she needs she needs to be with her mom. If it's a boy, he definitely needs to be with his dad. I think people should just stop being so angry when they have children and it doesn't work out, because I can't relate to that. So I don't. That's all I got as far as if I had have had a little boy, he definitely would have been living with his dad. But instead, her dad moved to the same city as me, and he saw her whenever he got ready to. So she's perfectly fine. I think when you two can act like adults in a situation and be around each other, it works out better for the child. I think the biggest problem, other than single motherhood, is people just not being able to get along enough for the kid. Like, I can't stand my baby mama. I can't stand my baby daddy. Why? I never understood that. So that's all I got.
Yeah,
Before JR move on, I don't know if you're gonna move on right now, JR. Can you explain to me, maybe you and Hink explain to me the dynamics of a boy being with his mother, like the pros of it and the cons, and the girl being with her mother and the boy being with the father. Can y'all explain y'all rationale behind that so I can kind of wrap my head around why y'all think it's best for a girl to be with her mother and a boy to be with his father?
Well, I mean, I can speak on it because I have a daughter, right? And I think that if you have a good mother, right? I mean, she got to be a good mother, because there are some mothers that I think the daughter may be better off with the father. But I'm hoping that you do have a good mother. And if you do, you will want your daughter to be able to learn some of that mindset, learn some of them skills, and to learn just how to be a woman. Now, I do think it's important for the father to insert itself in that parenting, because I don't think a lot of men understand how important it is for them to be present in their daughter's life. And by her being with the mother, she may not realize how important it is. Even if she doesn't realize it, that's okay. You need to realize it. You need to make it known that I'm going to be here. And when she gets older, she will appreciate that, because I'm not really sure if the mother, typically, if it is, let's say you guys are separated, I'm not sure if the mother is encouraging that, but at the same time, she may not be not encouraging it. That's why I think the father needs to understand how important his role is to his daughter. So if it's a good mother, to kind of sum it up, I think that she should be around her, but the father has to get his time in. He has to show up to the events. He has to show up to take out on dates. He has to show her how a man should be treating her. and he also has to love her and to let her know like who she is, and she doesn't have to seek validation from everyone else because the father is pouring so much into her that he's raising her the way that he wants her to be raised.
And if he has any suspicions, he needs to be there just to do checks at that point, you know?
I guess I'm not getting enough from what y'all just said.
Okay, so the reason, there's a lot of reasons why I feel like the daughter should stay, because she's a woman. First things first, she's a woman and she understands what it is to be a woman. She can teach her how to be a woman, how to move, operate, and act and carry herself like a woman, like I said, but she has to be a good woman. Now, if she's a trash woman, you need to do what you got to do to take her away from her as soon as possible. But if she's a good woman, then I will want that my daughter to learn from her mother, her ways, the way she acts, how she's supposed to take care of herself, how she's supposed to take care of her, physical as well as her emotional needs, because she's able to do it as a woman. She knows she has a better understanding as a woman than I would. I would have to try to read a book, learn about it, and still have no idea because it's not in my DNA. She's already built for that. Mentally, emotionally, physically, she's built for that. I'm not. I don't have no experience on being a woman, and she does. So I'm gonna rely on somebody who's more seasoned veteran, who knows how to move and operate as a woman than myself.
Okay. Were you about to say something, Coyle?
No, go ahead, bro.
Look, with all due respect, what y'all said, it's not landing for me, because I'm hearing that this woman is a woman, and so she can teach her womanly things. I look at it like this, and y'all, obviously y'all started with the caveat that she's a good woman, right? You don't want to use just women in general, and I'm cool with that. But then it begs the question, if she's a good woman, she's teaching her children off the rip, because we're going to assume that if she's a good woman, he's a good man. We're not going to assume that she's a good woman and he's not a good man. Why is it a good man and a good woman not figuring out how to work out a commitment they made to keep their family intact, to put their children in the best position possible to succeed? So right off rip, I'm going to strip good from both of them. I'm not going to say he's a good man or she's a good woman. I'm going to say they're selfish, because you brought a life into the world that didn't ask to be here. You created this life for whatever reason. Maybe it was irresponsibility, maybe it was intentional. But now that this child is here, that child needs a full comprehensive parenting structure around them. Not a mother structure, not just a father structure. But if you had to go with one or the other, because clearly the relationship has now ended, which parental structure are y'all saying girls need a mother parenting structure and boys need a father parenting structure? Because if y'all are saying that, I disagree with y'all. Now, that's why I'm asking y'all to give me sell me, so to speak, on why a girl should be with a woman and why a boy should be with a father.
I mean, I still think it's going to be situational, because even if you guys are separated, and it's a possibility that the father may not be good at that time. It depends on what he got going on. Same thing with the mother.
I'm saying neither one of them are good, JR. They ended their family.
Yeah.
I don't know who ended it, right? He could have done something to end it. She could have done. I don't know. We don't know who ended it, right? But it's done. So I'm just saying, for the sake of argument, neither one of them are good, because we don't know the nuances. When we try to think of structure, we cannot. Structure is not case by case scenario. Structure is, this is structure. This is what works for children. Now, when that structure is compromised, then we have to figure out what's the next best thing structurally, not case by case, because Coel is a different man from me. I'm a different man from you. You're a different man from Hink. And all of us, obviously, we're all different from Cookie, right? But structurally, if we had to just blanket choose, right? We don't know all the nuance, all the details. That's where social workers get in and the legal system get in, and how a person is painted becomes the reality of the person. But would y'all say that it's best for children in general, without you knowing the details, and you can't go case by case scenario because you don't always have the time to do the homework to figure that out, would you say it makes more sense structurally for children to be with a single mother or structurally for children to be with a single father?
Like I said, it depends on the sex of the child. That's what I determine it on. I mean, I'm not going to move off it. A daughter should be with her mother if everything's like you were saying, everything's everything. And if there's a son, the son should be with the father.
The thing about what Hink was saying, like having a daughter, you may go through certain things that you may not know about. I mean, you may have a girlfriend, you may have female friends that you could get advice or information from. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, like Will was saying, you can't sacrifice those little milestone moments that come every once in a while for lifelong protection and provision. You know what I'm saying? And a woman or a girl or a boy knowing that their father loves them. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. Like, ideally, the woman should raise the girl if she's a good woman, and the guy should raise the boy. But in general, Will is saying in society right now, it's already one way. So let's just not play both sides of the fence in general, which would be optimal. I mean, I think being with the father would definitely be optimal, just because fathers don't complain, man. Yeah, single moms do it every day. They do, but they do a horrible job. No offense to the woman that's doing good jobs, but women do horrible jobs being single parents overall, and they complain a lot. It's so much that go into it. When dads are single dads, I don't hear them complaining not one bit. We may feel it, but I don't hear them complaining not one bit. So yeah, I would lean more towards the dads, and that's my opinion.
I lean towards the dads too, and this is just something I want y'all to think about. I'm not trying to sway your opinion, Hink. I mean, you're going to think the way you think, but when we think of the pool, let's say it's a pot, right, and we're cooking a meal, and what everything we put into the pot determines how the child comes out. The meal is the child. We talk about the things that the father can put in that pot, and we talk about the things that the mother can put in that pot. Outside of nurturing, because nurturing is going to encompass love, is going to encompass support. Outside of nurturing, what else are we putting in that pot for the mother?
Oh man, I thought I already said it. When
I mean,
you have to deal
I think
with a lot of stuff, like the emotional stability that these young girls are going. Let me ask you this: do you have a daughter? Have you ever had to raise a daughter by yourself?
I have 4 daughters, and yes, I had to raise 2 of them for a short period of time by myself.
No. How long is a short period of time?
Well, I was married to their mother while I was going through a divorce. But I had for about 6 months.
Yeah, so she learned a lot. I'm sure your daughter learned a lot during that time period when y'all was together, right? So imagine so for my example, I had my daughter when I got in the 4th grade. And I had all the way up till she was a freshman in high school. So those are some vital parts. Like I said, I gave the example of dealing with menstrual. That's not easy. I know you're saying it's just a year's time. No, it's more than a year though, because every year she grows up, there's something different. There's different obstacles that she's dealing with every year. You're still dealing with it. You still dealing with them emotions. You still dealing with them feelings. You still dealing with boys. You know what I'm saying? You dealing with her friends. You trying to keep her on the right path and not out here trying to be a little freak. You know what I'm saying? You vetting her friends about who she's hanging out with. And also you still dealing with her mother. The mother's not like she's not involved. She's involved. She's right there. She just so happens to be living with me.
I know, but so that's why it's not making sense. So I'm not saying that your points aren't valid. And I did have to deal with my daughter. My daughter came on her menstrual cycle one of my daughters came on her menstrual cycle for the first time when she was with me. And I didn't know what to do. I mean, I knew that she needed, but I had women that I called on to help in the situation. It's not ideal, but fortunate for me, somebody was close by that can help. So I get it. I'm not saying it won't be challenging, but I'm asking the simple question of outside of the love and support, because yes, these children need support throughout life. We as adults need support throughout life. We don't just become to a point where, oh, we don't need anybody anymore. We're so completely self-sufficient. I'm 42 years old and I still need support. So what I'm asking is, outside of the nurturing, what else would the mother be putting into this pot? And the reason why I'm asking you guys, because I'm thinking structurally, if the relationship comes to an end, the likelihood of a child being with the father over the mother is slim to none. More than likely, the child is going to go with the mother. So what is the mother putting in this pot that's so vital that we're saying it's best for this child to be with this woman?
Go ahead, Cookie.
I want to apologize to Will. I can't answer your question, but I'm going to be vulnerable right now and say, even though my parents were together every day of my life, I'm a dad's girl. I spent my time around my dad, his friends, his baseball teams, his athletes. I was with my dad pretty much. It was almost like he was a single dad. I was with him so much. And we can all see what happens to a little girl who is just with her dad. Now, my kindness off screen, I am a very kind person. And I get that from my mom. My dad told me, you're kind. You just get that from your mama, because you spent too much time with me. My dad said this with his one of his last days that he was conscious. And he was like, Cookie, I need you to understand that sometimes you need to shut up, because that's what your mom knows how to do. And I think you don't, because you just were raised about too many men and your brothers and I just preferred being with my dad. Right. I was a little tomboy. So I think what Hank is trying to say, to avoid overreacting competitive, intense women like me, myself, told you I'm going to be vulnerable. The softer side of life comes from a woman. No, even when my dad was soft with me, it wasn't about how he treated me. He treated me like a princess, but it was what the things that I observed, because men live a certain lifestyle and women live a certain lifestyle. I didn't start getting my hair done until I went to college and saw all the other girls were getting their hair done, because I was putting my hair up in a ponytail to go fishing or to go hang out with my dad and be just with my daddy. I wanted to be with my dad. So I guess, to make a long story short, using myself as an example, I wish I would have spent more time with my mom at home, because I probably wouldn't have been so rough around the edges, and it wouldn't have taken me so long to be like, oh, it's time for you to play dumb. Because despite what people think on here, oh, she's unhappy, she's hateful. I have suitors, several. So it's not like it's a problem for me. And even if they see the show, but I think that's what Hank is saying. There's certain things, like when you go to the gynecologist and they tell you to put your feet up, and your first time there, and you're like, Daddy, I don't want to put my feet up. The first thing my daddy would say, she ain't got to put her feet up. Let's go. No, she needs to put her feet up. And she needs to do that, whether she's a virgin or not. When they kick dad out of the room, Dad, we need you to leave. We need you to talk to your daughter. Why? That's the first thing the man gonna say. Why? I know. Because my daughter's dad did it. I had to go. I was out of town working, and he took her to the gynecologist, and he was like, why do I need to leave the room? So it's just certain things that a lot of men, especially super bear fighting men like Hank, don't just would rather not deal with. And I understand that. When it came to those things, luckily I had my mother though. So
But here's the thing. So, Coyle, listen to this, bro.
No,
This is why I have a problem with this. And not that I disagree with anything that you're saying. I have a problem with it because it's not we're looking at something that's so small, and we're trying to extrapolate this and make it something way bigger than what it is. Because even if you talk about the whole physical aspect, when a boy gets a physical, the mother ain't gonna be in the room. She gonna have to leave too, right? So there's always these dynamics of different things. But check this out. I've seen so many women, single parent women, raise little girls to not be these princesses y'all keep trying to make it seem like it's being manufactured. The girls that I'm seeing being raised are being raised to be independent, bad bees who don't need no man. So I'm not hearing the softness. You know how many women told me, I saw my mother be hard. I saw my mother be strong. I'm like my mother. They don't say, oh, my mother taught me how to be nurturing. My mother taught me how to be gentle. My mother taught me how to be kind and caring. This is just not the reality. This is the fairy tale we want to tell ourselves. We want to keep painting this picture that, oh, girls need to be with women so they can teach them how to be soft and gentle. Most of the women we run into are not soft and gentle. And their daughters are not a good are.
Will, you think a man's going to teach you that? You think a man's going to teach a girl to be soft?
Yes.
Look, okay, look, congratulations, y'all soft dudes say I can do it. There's no way I could teach my daughter to be soft.
Dudes. You said soft dudes.
Yes.
But come on, bro, don't do that.
There's no way.
Don't do that.
There's no way as a man I could teach.
Don't do that. You can't call me soft.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, if you could teach a girl to be soft, then you a soft dude. Yes, you are.
Cap.
Okay.
So I can't do that. It's not in me to do that. I can't teach my daughter to be soft. Now I can teach her to love. You know what I'm saying? But it's a different type of love than a woman.
Love is soft.
Go ahead, bro.
Love can be soft. So if you can teach your daughter to love, you can teach her to be soft. And if you're saying you can't teach her to be soft,
I can't because I couldn't. Look, when I get a cut, she's gonna cry, and I'm gonna tell her, get your ass up and go about your business. Like I tell my son, you can't do your daughter like that.
Yes, you can.
You can't do your.
Yes,
I didn't do my daughter like that.
But why would you do your daughter like that though?
I guess.
What are you talking about?
Why would you teach your daughter? Why would you teach her? Why would you talk to why would anybody? Because I don't like to get into people's personal lives, but why would any guy talk to their daughter like that? Like if you like with me, I have
that's
sons,
what I'm telling Will. Will said I can't.
But even like with my niece and stuff, like I got nieces, and it's even like that. I teach them how to be. I don't teach them how to be soft, but I teach them. Yeah, I would say I'm not all hard with them like I am with my son. She'd be like, "Oh, uncle, what happened?" I'd be like, "Oh, mama's that uncle just got a cut. It's okay." You know what I'm saying? Or if she fall, "Oh, mama's you okay? You okay? Come here." When a boy, hey man, come on. You good? You good? All right, bet. Let's keep rocking. That's how you teach them how to be soft. You don't actually sit there and be like, "Okay, now I'm soft and this is how you do it." No, it's about the attitude you have towards them. You understand what I'm saying? It's your interaction with them and how you treat them.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Hold tight, Cookie.
Hold
tight, y'all. Hold tight. Let me get 15 minutes you in there, and then we'll come back around. Go ahead, 15. Hey, how you doing?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. What are your thoughts about what's been discussed so far?
Well, I would like to dial back a little bit on the reasons why children go back to their mothers after a separation or whatever. I do understand the thought process of how people think that it could be both ways, but can we also hone into how people shame mothers on not having their kids even when they think that that's the best place for them to go?
Well, say how women
there's a lot of shame from everyone in any community just because a mother doesn't have their kids, like their one whatever, like, oh well, I thought that my child was better off with their dad. Okay, so there must be something wrong with you.
It is something wrong with her.
Okay, so
there's something wrong with him.
Hold on, Will. Let her finish.
If it's so normal for a mother to have her children, and if it was a debate about why can't it be normal for a man to have his children, why would a community shame a woman for giving that man parental rights to his child, like whole as a whole, you know, because
Wait,
they will be shamed after that.
That's
They'll be
other
like, it's
women
something
though.
wrong with you. You did something
No,
wrong.
it's not other
You
women.
know?
can
She's
I ask
right.
you a question? Can I ask you a question? Because I
Yeah.
hear you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Have you seen this in real life? Have you seen a woman that you know? I'm not talking about on social media what somebody posts about. Do you know any women who've given their
Yes.
children to their father and they were shamed?
Yes.
And who
Actually,
shamed
I
them?
only
And
speak about real things that I've actually
who?
experienced and know about.
Who? So who shamed those women?
The community as a whole.
Who is
From
the
No,
community?
no.
okay, I don't know if my
Just repeat
internet
that.
connection is bad. Excuse me if it is, because I'm on my
No,
phone. I
no,
was trying to do my
We can
computer
hear you.
thing.
We
we
can
can
hear
hear
you
you
perfect.
loud and clear.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, basically, okay, so let's say this. So I was in college, right? And it was my freshman year. This girl, she got pregnant. And she was a very beautiful girl, very smart. She was like one of the top of our class, you know, girls. And we were destined to be like in a sorority together, blah blah. But she got pregnant and she chose to give the child to the father so that she can finish school, and everyone like shamed her, and it was just really bad. And
Who is everyone?
everyone, what do you mean
Who is
everyone?
everyone? You're saying everyone.
You
That's
said everyone. Who
you're
shamed
saying
her?
Okay,
everyone.
so do
I'm,
do I'm not trying
I'm
to get into logistics, but you
that's what
know,
we're at. That's what we're
a
asking.
lot
That's
of
what we're asking.
people, a lot of people did shame her. I went to a HBCU, so if you want to say like everyone, like it's men and women,
Fatima.
yeah.
Fatima. Who knew her business to know that the father, she gave the child to the father?
Well, okay, so the school that I went
How
to,
would
it
anyone
was
know that?
the school that I went to was very small, so you can't really like do anything
What
without everyone knowing. So everyone knew,
wait, let me ask you this.
basically.
So if she would have gave the child to her mother to care for the baby while she was in college, would anybody have shamed her?
I don't know that because I wasn't that close to her. You know, she's like not my
Wait,
family. I just know what I know.
well, no. So listen to what I'm asking you. Well, let me ask you another question. Outside of her, do you know of any other woman who gave their baby to the father and was shamed?
Well, outside of people that I know, no.
Okay, so you really don't know this to be a thing. You're
Well,
taking a one-off
nobody
situation.
nobody knows anything to be a thing if you are speaking from like a
That's
statistical standpoint.
that's a cap out. Yes, we
No,
do.
but where are you where are you getting
Well, hold on. Well,
I
we
said,
all
what?
know. Come on,
Are
bro.
we
We
okay?
know.
no,
She
no,
no,
Pink,
she
Look,
can't
no, no,
substantiate the argument,
Pink,
bro. No, let her
Pink,
speak for
you
herself.
don't
She can't
hold
know.
on.
substantiate the argument.
Let me say this real fast. Let me say this real. We can't say she's not totally off where people don't shame a woman because look, I've
It
Yes, we
is.
do.
dated a woman all of
Let's
a
just be
sudden.
honest. I do.
She
Who?
hold on, ma'am. Hold on. I've dated a woman before, and all of a sudden she was pregnant, and then all of a sudden she gave a kid away, and people looked at her kind of funny. We
Yeah.
can't act like that.
Who
We
did she
can't
give
act
her
like it
kid
doesn't
to?
happen.
Who did she give her kid to?
Well, she gave it to her aunt.
Okay,
You know
that's
how
a
it is
shame.
when they used
That's
back in
a
the.
shame.
But listen
Pink,
what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying though. Will listen what I'm saying. They go down south. Yeah. Well, she got pregnant, had the baby, and she left the baby down there and came back. Yeah,
yeah,
people do look at you kind of funny.
yeah,
Like,
you're not
yeah,
listening though.
Yeah. Yep.
they're
Pink,
wrong
Pink,
for that.
Pink, you're not listening. That is a shameful thing because first and foremost is this.
That
Yeah,
would
it
be
is.
shameful
Let
when it
me
actually happens.
give me a couple
Let him
seconds.
let him finish.
And I got a question for you too, Hink, about the softness. So here's the thing: if a man and a woman lay down and make a baby, it makes sense that those two people care for that baby. And if they're not going to care for that baby together, it makes sense that at least one of them care for the baby. Now, if neither one of them are going to care for the baby, now we need to get those details, right? Because I have never, ever seen a black woman get shamed for her mother stepping in to care for that child so she can go on and become something with her life.
Oh,
I've
that's a
never in my life seen a black woman get shamed for her mother stepping in and helping her raise her grandbaby or taking the grandbaby off of her plate so she could continue her scholastic dreams. Now, are we saying that black women get shamed when they give the baby to the grandmother?
I think how y'all doing? Can I
What's
chime
up,
in
brother?
there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
great conversation thus far.
Hello.
So, hello. What I picked up on just in the exchange you guys are having is that there's a series of brokenness. So I think Will is making a valid point. I think for the team to make a valid point, I think all of you guys thus far has made very valid points. The issue is that the baby is coming into the situation is coming into. So that's one. I think Will said it, both the male and the female, there's a disconnect. Something is incorrect. But if we're going to really have, in my opinion, an edifying conversation, we need to be speaking to the community. Because if this situation happens, the shame is already in alignment because of the fact that they had a baby outside of structure. But if there is a community, we would have the mothers, the fathers, the uncles, the grandfathers to encapsulate that situation to where the baby could go with an aunt, the baby could go with the father, and there shouldn't be quote unquote shame. So I think the shame is coming is because there's a lot of backwards things happening because there shouldn't be that energy. If that child goes to that father and they have the baby and those two parents decided that, hey, this is best suited for us, there shouldn't be a situation because we're adults trying to do what we need to do for this situation. The shame comes because our community tries to act righteous, doing unrighteous crap.
Right.
And I digress.
Well, hold on, true. So, right, but we don't know. We haven't worked out the details that these people weren't married and had these children in wedlock or outside of wedlock. That hasn't been determined, right? We're just dealing with the root of the problem right now. The problem is that these people are not together. Whether they were married first, whether they had their children inside of wedlock is irrelevant. Because when I first had my first two children, it happened inside of wedlock. I got married first, then I had my first two children. So that didn't change the dynamic that when we split up, now we're still dealing with that. We're picking up the story from that point in people's lives, not looking at did they do it the right way prior to, and did they have their money in order, were they the proper age or not. We're not going into all those nuances. We're just dealing with they're at the point where they're going their separate ways. If a woman was to give her child, her young 1, 2, 3-year-old child to her mother in pursuit of going to college, even if she maybe she didn't go to college right out of high school. And I'm just trying to make this a teenage thing. It could be a teenage girl. It could be a girl that's 23 years old and say, hey, mom, I'm trying to go get this certificate so I can get a job. And it's going to require me to focus. A lot of mothers have taken the grandchildren on. Do we shame women for giving the babies to the grandmothers so they can go pursue their scholastic dreams? I've never seen that happen a day in my life.
No, we don't,
we
bro.
don't.
And it's getting, and it's, go ahead, True.
No,
We
hold
don't.
on. Let him say.
We don't,
ahead,
but that's the thing. We see you're combining a multitude of things. From what I understood from what JR's video showcased, these were two women, clearly not teenage women, who decided for whatever reason their relationships broke up, they were going to journey down life this way. What you brought in was your personal choice to where you did do it, quote unquote, the right way by getting married and having children. And for whatever reason, you and your wife decided not to be together. I would argue that in your particular situation, in a community, we understand people get together. We understand people break up. We also understand that they're adults, but we also understand that regardless of what happens at that point, at one time we were family, whether it was through wedlock, whether it was through creation of life. And as a community, we're going to cover what's going to happen between these two parties. What is happening, however, is that we continue to, as a community, do dysfunctional crap and then try to act righteous. And you can't do both. So you're either going to do dysfunctional crap and shut the heck up, because you can't be like, well, we're shaming each other when we're already acting in dysfunction. It's counterproductive. It makes no sense. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but the argument, right? We don't know these details per se when we're picking up a story. And it's not so much about those two ladies in that video that you're speaking on. I pose another question. I'm trying to figure out structurally, if obviously we know it's ideal that a father and a mother raise their children under the same roof. We understand that. None of us are going to argue that it's better for a woman to raise kids than the parents, or it's better for the father to raise kids than the parents. None of us are going to argue that. We're all in agreement there. Where we have our points of contention is when that dynamic ends, the mother and the father are no longer together for whatever reason, without going into the details on why. See, I think people think the details will change whether or not who should be able to raise. Like if the man cheated on the woman, then all of a sudden the woman should get the kids. No, that's not how that works.
Let me condense what I'm alluding to then. If we're speaking from our community, which I believe we are, our community is fractured. So this same scenario could happen in a multitude of communities where you wouldn't even know the difference because they cover each other. We don't. So the reason why it's so highlighted is because it's fractured already. Majority of the children, go ahead.
Well, no, you're right. But there's a reason why it's fractured. And things get fractured at times in other communities. But structurally, they have a way of dealing with things. We don't have a structural way of how to deal with things when this happens. So I'm posing the question. In the event, which none of us want to see, case in point, use my life, me and my lady, if we were to separate, go our separate ways, we have 2 daughters. I have 4 daughters, 2 by my ex-wife, 2 by my current lady. If we were to go our separate ways, I would have a repeat of a dynamic that I've already went through, right? We would say, well, how do we deal with this? Is there a manual, so to speak, even though like Hink is saying and like Cookie is saying, case by case, and like JR is saying, case by case, we do understand that those nuances will come into question and you will work through that. But before you have the privilege of getting that information, do we have a structural way that we try to deal with these matters? Do we say, hey, it's best for women to have children from this age? It's best for men to have children from this age? Do we not have any structure? And do we always try to a la carte every problem to fix it and try to figure out every detail and then interject our moral compass? Because your moral compass true is different from mine. Ours is different from Cookie's, right? So if Cookie gets to use her moral compass and decide how it should be done, or Hink gets to use his moral compass, which I'm coming to him in a second, because he said men are weak if they, I don't even know how he said it, but to teach your daughters how to be soft, you got to be a weak man.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with that.
I don't know how he came to that conclusion because I got 4 daughters. Anybody on this panel got 4 daughters?
Yeah, first of all, I didn't say weak, but I understand what you mean. Yes, you got to be soft. You got to teach your daughter how to be soft.
I would like for you to explain what you mean by that, please. And I'm sorry, True, if we could just interject and let him explain. Did you get what I was saying, True?
I understood what you were saying. I think we're probably more in alignment than we aren't. The basis of my premise is that the reason why we see it unfolding and it's pronounced, what do they say often in the white community? If they catch a cold, the black community catches the flu, the vid, whatever. That's very true. And you can compare that across a multitude of cultures. So what I'm saying, to your point, do we have a structure on how we deal with it? No. Most of what is being done is a la carte style. The reason why it's so pronounced is because you're 90% of the time walking into an environment where if you do exchange having a relationship with a person of your same hue, and then a baby comes from it, they got the same fractured background you do. That's the problem. That's the issue.
That's true.
Hank, can you explain? With the answer to that, the short answer to that, which none of us agree with, is to divest in. True.
Yeah, I don't. I don't get
I ain't doing that. Hey,
again,
Hank, can you explain that, please, sir?
Well, y'all have to be soft to teach your daughter how to be soft. Because that's what I said. So yeah, I can't teach my daughter to be soft because I don't know that. I don't know anything about that. I could be gentle at times, but it's not going to be on a regular basis when she needs me to be that way.
So when you say
for a young daughter,
when you say teach them to be soft, what do you mean? Like, give me an example of teaching my daughter to be, or our daughters, because you have a daughter too. Give me an example of teaching our daughters to be soft.
Feminine. I can't teach that to my daughter.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yeah, do you know what you like in women? Do you know what you like in a woman? If you're a single man, do you know what you like in a woman?
Yeah, that sounds kind of creepy. You're teaching my daughter like that, man.
Your daughter's going to grow up to be a woman. So if you're not willing to do it, just say I'm incapable or not willing to have the conversations. Don't say another man is soft because he loves his daughter enough to teach her how to conduct herself.
Was it negative that he said that?
Yeah.
Yes, it's negative. That ain't no positive. Are you crazy?
No.
Well, can I say something? I think that sometimes when men are put in those type of positions to where you can teach your daughter like a feminine way to be, and you can teach her softness, it's kind of looked at as like weird and stuff like that, because it does have a lot to do with you breaking down and being, like you said, quote unquote soft. But I wouldn't look at it as soft. I would look at it as in touch with your emotions and empathy.
No, that's what you mean by
You know,
soft. No,
yeah,
you're feeling
but
his
I
point.
wouldn't call that soft. I would call that I would call that in touch with yourself, your like inner self. But you can also like teach your daughter things that can be taught through empathy without it being weird. And I think that sometimes when people use, especially Black fathers, being close to their daughters in a weird way, like with them teaching them or loving them or being close to them, like I think that that's weird for people to even think that, honestly, because like, are you not used to being loved or something? You know?
Well, here's the thing. I'm a masculine man and I understand masculine behavior. If my daughter is conducting herself in a masculine way, I can explain to her that's not how you little girls or ladies behave.
Right.
That's teaching her not to do certain things. I also can give her examples of how women conduct themselves. I can say, look at this. I can put her in touch. I can put her in an etiquette school, a charm class. I can give her the tools and put her around women that can teach her feminine things. Just because
So then you're not teaching her then. So now you're pawning it off to someone else, though.
No, sir. Listen, we all
you're doing no different than what I was teaching. I need somebody else to help me. So that's what I'm talking about.
Brother, you're not listening.
Brother, you're talking about pawning it off to, but you can have that woman. Her mother could teach her all of those things and necessarily wouldn't have to go to an editing school. Now, maybe some things she couldn't. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man.
The breakdown in our conversation is this. I asked y'all a question that had a two-part answer and y'all gave one part of it. That's the reason why we're down this rabbit hole. I asked you, why is it?
I just thought you like going down the rabbit hole like that. I didn't know you would. Okay, my bad.
I'd rather keep it above on the surface, right? And find common
ground. We tried, man, but you took us down here. You took it down this avenue, brother.
I didn't take it. I didn't make you call men soft because they teach their daughters to be soft or whatever you said. So listen to what I'm saying to you, sir.
I don't think it was insulting, though.
You don't have to think it was insulting. You're not a man.
It was definitely insulting, especially to the man that said they could do it. That's like me saying my favorite color red and a nigga saying any person who favorite color red is soft. Like what?
Khalil, you're not doing it though. You heard what Will said. Will said, "I will send her to etiquette school. I will have other women." So now you're not teaching her. Now he's subsidizing. He's subsidizing the education on teaching a daughter. So now you're not doing it. But guess what? I can have her mother. All those things you can send instead of sending to a stranger, instead of sending somebody else who's not of her family, who doesn't know, are paying somebody to do it.
You pay somebody to teach your kids math. You pay somebody to teach your kids science.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Your taxpayer dollars. You do.
Oh, you saying my tax? Okay, I guess we do then. I guess I do. Will, come on, bro.
Can I say something?
The thing is, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying on a general.
Can I say something from personal experience?
Damn, you can't. Y'all can't hear me. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
It was just like so. So my grandmother went to charm school. My mom went to charm school, and I went to charm school. And just from personal experience, no, it's not punning like your children off to someone necessarily. It's letting your children be in a different environment so that they can use the tools that you've taught them in an environment so that they can learn also new things from what someone else can teach them and see what they can be in a different environment as well. It's just an extra step. Like, it's also like how people say it takes a village to raise a child. You know, if you walk down the street and your shoe is tied as a child, and your mom says, tie your shoe up or you're gonna trip, and you tie it up, and then you walk down a couple of more blocks, and then your neighbor says, tie your shoe up because it got unloosed again. And it's the same thing. It's just like a re thing, you know what I'm trying to say.
No, we
Yeah.
don't. I don't know what you're trying to say.
But you know, like, it's just like a reinforcement, basically. It's like a reinforcement.
Well, so here's what I was asking. The point I was asking, right? I said, in this pot, what are women putting in this pot as mothers? And then I wanted to hear, what do fathers put in the pot as fathers, right? I already said that women are going to be more so the nurturers, and that nurturing will include love and support. Not to say that a father can't love and support, but we're knowing that women are going to spearhead that department for the most part. And then I was going to ask you guys, what do fathers put in that pot? Because
Right.
what I'm talking to True about, we're trying to think of structurally, right? If the person who puts 3 things in the pot, let's say the mother puts 3 things in the pot and the father puts 9 things in the pot. If the father has 9 things that generally come from the father, and we can only generally think of 3 things that are coming from the mother, not to say that the 3 things the mother is contributing is not important, because we all believe that the child needs all of it. Structurally, we have a direction to lean. But if we want to ignore those things, if we don't want to do our due diligence and work through what men generally bring to kids, no matter the kids, if they're disabled, if the kid is intelligent, if the kid's a self-starter, we don't want to try to figure out what type of kid it is first. Structurally, what are men bring into a child's life, and structurally, what are women bring into a child's life, to have a baseline
Be quiet.
of a direction if this relationship was to fall apart. But if we won't even do that work, how are we supposed to ever figure this out?
Because you can't ever figure it out if you're still constantly on the same topic over and over again. Like, it is too far in life to be constantly talking and trying to figure out the same things that
What
people
are you
have been
talking
figured
about?
out like a long time ago. Like, we trying to still figure out family structures and how it's supposed to go when people have moved far past that. Now they're taking care of their great grandchildren, and we trying to figure out how one structure in a family goes. You know, we
Well,
are far behind.
the thing is,
Like, can we
most men,
move on to like something else? The problem is the blame. We keep placing blame. Is men fault, women fault, men, black people, white people, Indian, whatever. Like, it's blame. Can we just move? Can we just get one simple thing and then move forward so that we can move on to something bigger and better? The
yes.
problem is that we're still in one place. We're complacent, and we're still trying to figure out one issue, and we're stagnant on this issue because of our internal emotions and our internal traumas and damage.
Okay, Fatima, can I
Right.
We
ask you a
cannot move
question?
I
forward.
agree with you.
Can I ask you a
Coel,
question, Fatima?
go ahead, brother. Go ahead, Coel.
Yes.
Do you look at men, and or do you want men
I'm
overall
so
to be?
sorry. I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that? The thing, like, kind of like,
Y'all can't hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
It broke
Um.
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want men, or do you think, or do you think men should be the leaders in
Both.
society?
Yes. Yes. Both.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So there's a simple fix here. Most men feel the same way. I think
Sure.
that if you feel that way, I think most other women feel that way. Simple fix here: find a man to lead and follow him, and follow all men.
Well,
If,
I
if
mean,
you,
that's simple. Like, I'm
the
already
thing is,
doing that in my life, but I'm just
well, the
saying, like,
thing
as
is,
a
you
whole, as a
as
community, I think
as
we
a
gotta move
whole,
on.
no, that's where we're stuck
Well,
at. Women, because I'm not talking about just you
That's why
or
we're
just
behind.
or just me. Is because women, the people that's supposed to be following in our community, don't want to follow. That's it. Whether you want to have the excuses, they're not good leaders. Well, it doesn't matter. If you
You're
want
correct. You're
if you want
right.
them to lead you, you have to want to be led and follow.
You're right.
That's the simple fix here.
You're
That's the
right.
simple
But
fix.
also with that comes with the pressure that comes behind it. And I'm not saying that that it shouldn't be pressure on expectations, but expectations sometimes does lead to failure. So it's just like when a woman, hear me out. It's just like sometimes when you're in a relationship and a woman is constantly hounding a man over and over again to marry her. He's going to pick apart the things that he sees that
That has nothing to do with
that
that has
fit.
nothing to
Just
do
hear
with
me
what
out.
I'm talking
Just hear
about.
me
But
out.
hold
Just
on,
hear me out.
listen for 1 second, because that has nothing to do with what I'm talking
Coel,
about.
Just hear
I'm
me
talking
out.
about
Just
y'all
hear
have
me
to,
out. Just hear
that
me
is
out.
not
Coel, let
what
him
I'm
finish.
that is not
Coel,
what
let
I'm
him finish.
talking about, bro. Listen,
I know. I was going to
Coel,
land
I
the plane.
understand, man.
Just
bro,
hear me out.
Let him finish.
I heard you. I need her to respond to what I'm saying. I get that point. I
I
understand what
did.
you're
I
saying.
was going to do that.
I'm talking about men that you're not sleeping with. Men, if you look at men like leaders, you need to look at all men that you are not sleeping with, like they can lead and like they have some obligation to the community, just like women do.
I don't
You
agree
can't,
with that.
but Coel, you can't do that. Not all
I
men are
can't do what?
leaders.
I
No,
can't
they're
do
not
what?
And
actually. They're some men
every
are
woman,
true,
and
genuine
Hold on.
scumbags and serial killers
Hold
and
on, hold
murderers
on,
and
hold on, hold on, hold on,
all
hold on.
types of
Fatima, hold on,
things. So you have so many different
Fatima,
variations in this world. Okay, I'm sorry.
Fatima, can you
Bro,
hear
what
me?
the fuck?
Can you hear me,
Hold on,
man?
hold on,
Hold on, man. Hold on. Go ahead, Coel.
bro.
I won't interrupt you.
We know that a small minority of men are fuck ups and killers, murderers, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do it, bro. I get that. But there are more men, there are more of a percentage of men that are leaders that will put the man in check if they find out that they're doing some slimy ass shit like that. First of all, we got police, and if a dude is out there beating up a girl in the middle of the street, bro, there's some guy that is going to say cut it out or call the police, bro. It's not just happening where somebody's just freely out there in the free world doing bullshit to weaker people and not getting caught from it. Now they may do it behind closed doors, and they should be shamed for that, go to jail, hung, whatever you want to call it. But come on, bro, let's stop it. I'm talking
No,
about
I agree with that. I agree with that.
we have to know that the men in our community and not the bad apples. We have to know that the men in our community
But you
are
have to change
let
all
me,
to some or
baby
most.
girl, baby girl. This is our
You said
community.
all.
We can't pick and choose though. You like
Shout out to me.
you can't pick and choose. Of course, you have situations where it's gonna go bad, but you can't pick and choose. There has to be structure. You can't be like, oh, well, if this and this and this and this, if so, then we're gonna choose that. And if this and this and this, so we're gonna choose. Stop it. If you're gonna look at men as
Coel,
leaders,
let me ask you a question though.
bro. Oh my God, let me land a
would
plane.
you teach?
Am I not landing? I'm not making sense. I'm just talking.
No, I understand what you're saying. I don't agree
Too.
with you.
Even if
Talking
you
about
don't agree with me, bro, let me land a plane, Mike.
You can't say all because you're saying 100%. You can say most.
Look. I'm not.
I just go off of language. I'm a very
See,
strict
now you're going off.
communicator.
Now you're going off semantics. Come on, now. What I'm saying is,
Well, yeah, like I could say that too. Like I'm a very semantic person.
Fatima, let him finish. Let him finish.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, man.
You can finish. That's all. I just didn't want you to say all. That's all. Cause
well, the thing is, I'm gonna say what I'm
Just let him
going
finish.
to say.
Even if he say all, let him finish it.
okay.
If women in mass want men to be leaders, they don't want some men to be leaders. They want all men to be leaders.
Right.
They have to look at men as leaders, no matter what they think in their head about what a leader should be, how a leader should act, and what a leader should do, because most of them never even encountered a leader and never was raised by a leader. So they have to know that men in mass and men in general have their best interests, and let men lead the community. That's it. Let the men lead the community, because in every other culture, that's what they do for the most part, or that's what we see. So let the men lead. Let the men lead, and that's that.
Can I talk? Can I talk to Coel for a second? Because I understood what you said, my brother. I don't think that you're incorrect at all. And then I also noticed the exchange. It's my observation. I think this is what occurs. There is a disease that I think exists heavily in our community. Fatima touched on it. I think Coel touched on it. We get caught up on petty crap. We get caught up on the fact of like, well, you can't say all. Well, there really is no rules on what you cannot do or can. There's an exchange of respect. from people, from adults. So that's one. The other thing I think is that we don't really assess that the reason why we're struggling in this community as men to enforce our position is because there's compromise that exists. Most of the time, the reason why you're not going to get the women to listen and follow suit based on just your genitalia is because you play on both sides, generally speaking. Most men want to say that respect me as man, yet they don't represent in what women respond to, especially in this region of the world where the conveniences of life are readily available to them. See, the disadvantage we have is that in other parts of the world, women have to go through men to exist. In this part of the world, they don't. And our community doesn't understand that the way we exchange on even something just this small, just respect, is what causes the issue. I think Fatima touched on it. Other communities are so far ahead because we understand how things go. We have a hard time even having a conversation. And so I think until that we can, I'm not saying we're being disrespectful, I'm saying in mass, a lot of times I think that's where we get caught up on semantics or things that are really not aiding to the edification and the moving forward of ourselves. That's what I observe.
And I agree with Coel as well.
With the part about what Coel was saying, you can't expect Will's daughter to follow my lead. I'm not her leader. That's not what for her. Every woman shouldn't follow the leader. That's like my wife listening to you. But Coel, that's what you sit there and say that they should follow the leader of every man.
That's not what he said.
Let him finish and then let me respond. Then you can go. Let me finish.
That's what I heard from it. It sounds like he's saying every woman should follow every man. That's what it sounds. That's what it sounds like I heard to me.
I think
so. If that's the case,
let him finish. Let him finish.
So if that's the case, I don't agree with that. Now you're saying that's not what you said. Maybe I misheard you.
Okay, I apologize.
So what I misunderstood what you said. Okay, well hold on, brother. Let me finish. My bad. We said we're gonna do that. Cool.
I thought you was fun.
So maybe I misunderstood. Probably if I did, I apologize. But that's what it sounded like to me. You saying that every woman should follow the lead of a man. Now I don't believe that. I believe every woman should respect a man, but follow every man's lead. No, I don't agree with that. But go ahead and explain yourself.
So what I'm saying is, say you have a daughter and you're not there. Say she's at a restaurant or something or whatever, and a guy say, "Hey, don't cross that street," and she say, "You ain't my daddy. I ain't got to listen to you." And she crossed the street anyway and get hit by a bus, or she cross the street over there to the side and she don't know this guy is a kidnapper and he pulls her in the van. Just simple. She don't have to follow. I'm not saying like follow man's lead blindly, but know that all men ain't out there to hurt you and respect man as leaders. So if a man say, "Hey, don't go over there," don't have the reaction as, "You ain't my daddy" or "You ain't my man." Think about it like, this is a man. Should I listen or should I listen or should I not? That's what I'm coming from.
Can I say something, please?
Yeah,
no,
when I'm finished, baby girl.
I felt disrespected.
Baby girl. Hold on.
And that's what I'm saying right there. It's just like you're talking
Fatima,
about names and stuff, but you're calling me baby girl. I'm not your baby girl. You don't even know me.
Fatima,
my name is Fatima.
Can you not hear me?
That's the semantics.
Okay. And this is the semantics that we're talking about.
It's not petty. I mean, you can't minimize.
Just call them ma'am. That's why I call them all
addressing someone
they don't
correctly.
like being called ma'am either.
But Fatima, it's not a sign of disrespect.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
Go ahead, Coel.
It's and this is exactly what True was talking about. It's like, and what I was talking about. It's like, yo, and men don't do it. And I hate to play the blame game, but men don't do it just like before. If we're having this exchange, if
you messed up, go back to what we was talking about. Let's go back to what we was talking about. Come on.
In another community, if they're having this exchange and it ain't black people, and a man start talking, what's gonna happen? The woman will be like, "All right, I'm gonna let you finish." But in our community, women don't give a fuck. Women don't give a fuck. If I'm not her man or if I'm not her daddy, she don't give a fuck, and it's cool. But it's cool up until the point where she need a man help that's not her man or her daddy, and he don't help her, and now he a bitch ass nigga. And it's like, it's cool, but by baby girl, I didn't mean nothing by that, ma'am. That's just my language, to be honest. I call everybody that, even the bartender. I say, hey, baby girl, can I get another? So I
That's
apologize.
okay.
Though.
It's okay.
You know
We
what I'm
good.
saying?
We good. Now let's get back to what you was talking about at first. Before
I
that,
accept your
come on.
apology.
All right, go ahead, Coel. She accepted your apology, man. Let's finish what we was talking about first. So, like I said, it sounded like to
Well,
me,
let me
I
land
thought
that
you were
plane.
saying. You
Let me
said
land
what?
that plane. He said he was gonna go down. So here's the thing, Pink.
Oh,
Generally
hold
speaking,
on, Coel, was you finished? Let me, Coel, was you finished?
Yeah. All I was just I can't even remember where I was at, but yeah,
I'm
I
about
was
to
just
land the
saying
plane
that.
on you,
Yeah, I
bro.
was just saying like,
Exactly what you said. Because
oh
I was
yeah, go
telling
ahead,
you
go ahead.
that's not what you said.
Mhm.
Coel is
Go ahead.
saying we as a society, we always say men are the leaders. Men are the leaders. Men are the leaders. Well, if men are the leaders, that means all men are the leaders. That don't mean you're following every man. That don't mean every man is your leader. Because in a corporation, there's the CEO, and then there's a hierarchy, and we get down to managers, district managers, supervisors, right? You might have multiple supervisors. That don't mean that supervisor is your supervisor, but they are still a supervisor, and they should be respected as a supervisor. That don't mean they necessarily have the jurisdiction to tell you what to do. So when we look at men as leaders, if women view men as leaders, then it will change the way you talk to them. It doesn't mean you got to do what they say, because he's not your leader, but you recognize and respect him as a leader. Just the opposite is true. If we want to say that men are the leaders, we also say that women should be protected. Now, we don't say, oh, that means that I'm supposed to put my life on the line for anybody with a vagina. No, but generally speaking, we believe that women should be protected. Do we not? So therefore, we think men should not put their hands on women because they should be protected. That doesn't mean it's every man's responsibility to protect every woman that they run into. No, but it's generally should be understood that women view men as leaders, so you show a certain level of respect. Men view women as a protected class, so you don't harm them. That's all he's saying.
May I?
Go ahead, Cookie.
I think, like Fatima said earlier, there's just a disconnect in the culture because y'all call her saying, when she says don't say all, y'all call it semantics, but being women and observation of men and examples of men in the community and how we hear women being spoke about or spoke on or over talked about, even when we open our mouths. It's hard, not hard, it's different for us. Thank you, sis. It's different and it's difficult for women to just be to sit back and be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, all the men are leaders, but in the same token turn around and see a group of men, or not, and this is no shots at anybody on the panel, a group of men in the street, or a group of men in life, or a group of wherever we are, um not even respecting each other and them or themselves or us at all. So it's like y'all, it's in the same token. Some men want, not anybody impersonal, but some men want to be able to talk bad about women and basically imply that they're not worthy of anything, but in the same token expect those same women to turn around and be like, yeah, let these are the leaders. So I think there's a lot of unfortunately there's a lot of bad communication, miscommunication, and if we're talking to the community out there, where men, if men want that, they should treat. It's very easy to get a woman to follow your lead, or get you to be a leader, or to respect you, as long as she doesn't feel like she's being attacked. And I'm not saying on the panel, I'm just saying in our community in general.
I do agree with that. If I may chime in and add to that, what you're saying, I hear you. I think generally when men are talking from the standpoint of what you're saying, that same type of energy is not applicable when women are talking amongst women based on observation. Women don't get caught up on the same energy, because I hear women talk and they use very definitive terminologies that are across the board. Men ain't. You do not hear women say, some men sis, some men, they don't do that. The only time you see that energy is when a man places that same level of definity on a word. What it translates to us is you're combative, because you're so caught up on the fact that you want to chime in to now correct speech, where a mature woman, in my opinion, would allow that man to say what he's going to say and then ask what he meant, instead of derailing what he's saying. Understanding that in just speech, and it depends on hierarchy exchange, most of the time it's casual, like my boy Coel was just on his soliloquy, but someone had to chime in and say, not all. That is little girl energy. That's not developed energy. It creates a disruption that doesn't need to happen. It really makes a man feel disrespected if women don't understand that.
Well, I mean, my thing is, I get that, true, but you literally just use an example of what happened with a female on this panel, and now y'all are going to expect her to be non-confrontational. You just pretty much called her a little girl.
No,
No,
I
he said that was little girl energy.
I said,
but that's what she did, though.
No,
but he
did not actually. I
Hold on, Will. Let them have it for a minute.
What I was saying is like,
Fatima, hold on, Fatima. Fatima, hold on.
Okay.
I said that the behavior tends to exemplify a immature, childlike behavior, generally speaking, because when I'm speaking to you guys or anyone that I observe to be an adult, I assume that we have some level of understanding of how communication generally happens. And amongst adults, we just tend to respect each other. Amongst men, we have a certain social exchange. That's why I make the point. Women talk amongst women and they use very definitive terms, but that same energy is not introduced to now correct. They allow it to flow, because I generally believe this is what I've observed. Generally speaking, because it's not that deep. There's something about when men say something that, especially talking about women, that puts all of them into one group. Now we have to be corrected mid explanation.
I correct women when they say "oh." I do.
You may.
Yeah. And I think that you're right. That should be more of a thing. Women, you can't say all men. You shouldn't say that, because it's not true.
You should just ask people. Let people finish their thought, and then let them, like Hink said, you're a soft man if you teach your girls to be soft. Okay, I accept what he's saying. I don't agree with him, but I'm like, Hink, explain what you mean by that. Stop telling people what they can and cannot say. If I say all, that's generally saying the majority. We know no one can say all as if you know for a fact that it's all. So y'all want us to take all out if we just take the word all out and we say some, now you're not in the uproar. Or then if we say most, how can we quantify most? Now, if we stop saying all and we start saying most, now most shouldn't be used, it should be some. Then when we say some, I mean, does that even represent half? So now we're saying we know something represents a majority.
No, it just leaves room for the women that can't relate.
You can just ask the question, what do you mean by that, if you are confused? And I think communication works two ways. A person speaks and maybe they don't use the right words. They don't articulate themselves the best. Instead of just jumping down their throat, which you can, but instead of just jumping down their throat, you can say, well, what do you mean by that? Now, if you choose to just jump down their throat, the person whose throat you just jumped down, they should pause and say, well, what do you mean by that? It shouldn't just be this, because I didn't like what you said, now I get to respond this way and I get to respond this way. At some point, one of the parties, ideally both parties, should be like, what do you mean by that? Then you can get clarity. And then once they double down on it, now you can hold them to task. Now, if you want to jump on their ass, then jump on their ass. Because they said it, you took it a certain way, but you double checked to make sure you was right. They double down on it. Hey.
But we're talking about the community, right? And just like you were stating,
Coel,
you don't want it to be personal.
Fatima respond to that, then you go next after Fatima. Okay, Coel?
We don't want it to be, we don't want it to, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Were you saying something?
I just
What I
think
was going to
that.
say is, Fatima,
Okay.
Fatima, hold on.
I just think that I did not. I did not think that I was coming. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear
Keep
me?
going,
Yeah,
bro.
but I'm trying to get you. Yeah, but I'm trying to get you to hear me. You're going to go and then Coel. Okay?
Okay, fine.
All
Cool.
right.
I'm just trying to understand, like, how did what I said from a statistical standpoint go to jumping down someone's throat? Because all I was saying, and I apologize if I offended anyone by saying that you can't say them like 100%. No one can nothing is ever 100%. Even hand sanitizer is 99.99999%. Nothing is ever 100%, so you can't say all. And I'm not trying to be petty or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if you say all, stop laughing. If you say all, that means that everybody. You don't know. It's not an indefinite thing. Like it's not an indefinite thing to say that men should be like all men should be a leader to a.
What you're doing, Fatima,
because you're interjecting me now because
I'm trying to have somewhat of a conversation and allow you to build on it. I think that we assume when we're talking to you that you're somewhat educated, intelligent. So there's certain things men are not going to say to you just off the strength. Like when you do that to us, you're sunning us. You're little boying us.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I apologize if I did that. I didn't mean that. I just talk like how I talk. That's all. I don't think that anyone is less than who I am or anything like that at all by any means.
I'm glad you did that though. What we're speaking to in totality is this is what generally women do. We're talking to each other, but we're talking to other listeners. People are listening.
Right.
So that exchange was perfect because that's exactly what occurs.
Yeah.
And sometimes
I can get that, and sometimes it can make it hard for people to. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fatima, go ahead and finish because after Coel goes, we're gonna introduce a new clip. So
okay,
are you finished?
I'll make this real fast. All I was saying was, once again, I apologize. I didn't mean to offend anybody. All I was saying was like, you can't say all in anything, and I wasn't trying to be petty. I was just saying like, he said you have to like let all men lead you. I was raised by two fathers. Okay, all men cannot lead me. All men cannot lead me, and I know this to be a fact. And I'm not talking down on any black man or any race or anything because.
Remember, we talked about this.
I know. I'm just saying.
You just said it.
You don't.
Let it keep going, bro.
You know she wrong. Don't let her waste our time.
Wrong.
No. We need examples.
I'm just being honest.
We could show ourselves.
That's what he said.
I know, but hey, Will, Coel's going to talk about it when his turn is next. Fatima, are you done? Are you done, ma'am?
Yeah, I really don't have anything else to say.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you for your input. Go ahead, Coel.
Nah, first of all, I didn't feel like nobody was sunning me. It was just the thing is, this is if we could just take it off of her. This is just what black men go through on a daily basis with black women when they want leaders and they treat us like shit for no reason. She could say, "Oh, I was trying to," but then I said baby girl, and then she was like, "Well, don't call me baby girl." It was like damn, shorty, like.
You
So that's what,
can't, because
and then when women get called out
Baby,
on
come
their
on.
shit, then when women get called out on their shit, they want to do the passive aggressive shit and start acting nice. Well, like, no, I wasn't. It wasn't like that, baby. I seen you, but that's besides the point. You know what I'm saying? But that if y'all watch people that's watching, you know, when y'all say when women say they want leaders, you have to lead. You understand what I'm saying? Don't get rowdy. Don't do all of that. You just got to lead. You know what I'm saying? And it'll happen. They're gonna watch this. They're gonna watch this back. It'll happen. It's natural selection, man. But you know, men just got to be leaders. Women follow. You know, it is what it is. Oh, and to another example, somebody said, if it was some man on a corner doing some like disrespectful stuff, they shouldn't be leaders. Yeah, if you walking by as a woman, you probably shouldn't get any advice from them. But you got to understand that they probably have women in their family and girls in their family that they are leaders to. You understand what I'm saying? So it's still all the same. All men are leaders to somebody, no matter whether you think they should be a leader or not. All men are leaders to somebody, and we have to encourage that. That's the problem. We have to encourage men in our community to be leaders, and we have to encourage women to be good followers, no matter how smarter than they think they are than a man. That's simple.
Right on. Hey, Jay, if you can, you go ahead and play the clip.
Now, and I realized that
I love
will
women.
never
Stop
be
it.
completely happy as long as I realize that I will never be completely happy as long as I'm providing for somebody. I'm sorry, but it irks me to come home after I've been working, you know, to see somebody sitting up on my couch and not doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying the fruits of my labor. The economy is a beast. And I worked hard to get to the place that I am today. I didn't have no handouts. You know what I'm saying? I had to work hard for this shit. And I'd be damn if, you know what I'm saying, I let somebody else come up in here and enjoy my shit without offering to contribute, to pay a bill up in this bitch. I'm trying to have something. I'm trying to own a home. You know, if the right woman come along, maybe a family with the right woman. But like I said, I need a partner that's gonna be a partner, not a dependent. You know, you can lean on me, I can lean on you. You know, if one of us need help, I got you, and vice versa.
Is that a
Hold on,
boy?
hold on. I'm gonna play another clip because y'all said that was too long. I'm just gonna play this out there. I got you clipped on the one you sent.
Just delete that clip.
I was just about to ask. I don't want to get. I want to be politically correct. I didn't know what we were watching. He, she, them. I don't know. Can you clarify, Jr.?
Man, I don't know if it's only a man of my age, but y'all remember back in the days on Saturday Night Live, they had a person on Saturday Night Live skit called Pat. Do y'all remember that? Truth, you about as old as me with your old ass. I know you remember that.
Is that like with TV with the white ones? Like, never mind. Go ahead.
Because somebody play one you want.
Okay.
He cares about how much money you make. He's scheming. He's like factoring in how much how little he has to work now because of how much money you make. You get what I'm saying? He's thinking about it. Oh, she's a lawyer. Who's the prosecutor earlier? Oh yeah, she's a lawyer. Yeah, she makes good money. That's dope. Yeah. They start plotting their future about how little they're gonna have to work later because she makes such good money. Is that what you want? Because why are they asking? You know? I second guess because I think that, are they asking because they're genuinely interested in your profession, or are they sizing you up? They're saying, how much money you make? So that I don't have to work as hard myself if I end up hooking up or whatever. Doesn't it feel a little like that? You know? Like there's a motive, the prosecutors say. Like there's a motive, Miss Prosecutor. Isn't there a motive here? Oh, you're a lawyer? Wow. How do you like that? It feels like something's happening. You know what I mean? Premeditated is what they call it. He's imagining how little he's going to have to pay. Your lawyer going to be paying for the vacations and stuff. And man, you're going to be on a vacation and he's not going to like the room you selected, and then y'all going to get in a fight in the Bahamas. Because he doesn't like the room that you paid for. That's your future. Is that what you want? Dateline for real. So when they're asking what you do, they're scheming. Don't tell me they're not. Because rich men don't care. It's like an afterthought. Y'all already on the third date before a rich man. Y'all already be on the third date before he even knows what you do for work, if you have a job at all, because he doesn't care. Didn't even ask. You see what I mean? They don't need to know. It's like you. Bro, you the DMs. What do you do again?
Is he gay? These clips is crazy.
So what is he saying? I guess men of certain status of money don't care what their women are doing for work. Is that pretty much what he's saying?
No, he basically saying like women shouldn't put so much stock into their job because men really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like they be so worried about their career. Well, some women don't really want a man, but the women that do want a man and they be so focused into their career, that's really what he's speaking to. It's like the right man, the man that you really want, don't really care about your career if you put in your career first. You should
That's not what I got from that at all. I got that he was saying that dudes want to know how much money you make so they can calculate in their head how hard they need to work.
Well, yeah, that's what he was saying. I got I was speaking on an undertone, like from where he was coming from. I heard what he said. Yeah,
that's not where he was coming from, Coel. He was coming from. He was demeaning guys who don't quite have it like that, or cheap guys, or he was trying. I shouldn't say cheap guys. He was trying to paint a narrative that guys are scheming, that guys are plotting, that guys are trying to find successful women to pick up the heavy lifting. That's why he said when y'all in Cancun or wherever he said y'all at Bahamas or whatever, the guy is complaining about the room that she paid for. He's talking about men who are not on the same level that their female counterpart is on. And so therefore the man is strategically trying to position himself to get with a woman who's the breadwinner. So y'all say he ain't gay. He was sassy as hell to me. The first video, the person, whatever the person, it was talking like a woman, talking about having a woman.
He's definitely gay.
I don't know. I don't think it was a him at all. It don't. Now that look, whatever. What's the point of those videos, JR? Hank, is JR present? What's the point of those?
Cookie. Yeah, Cookie. So I sent it to me, said she wanted to discuss it. So Cookie gonna leave this one.
I just wanted to show y'all the difference in thought process. First of all, he's not gay, but the difference in thought process of, they compare him kind of like to a Caucasian Kevin Samuels, but he thinks differently. And I think it's because he's white. So my question to y'all is, how do y'all feel? Because that's not all the things that he says. He feels like men shouldn't be asking. And it goes back to what I said, as a culture and as a community, and how much differently we think about everything. So I was just trying to see if what y'all thought about how he said it as black men, because white men don't think like y'all. They don't.
Good. Can I respond to that real quick? First and foremost, how many white men does he represent? That's my first question to you.
Oh, he got bread.
I didn't ask you that. I said, how many white men does that one white guy represent?
Probably just his followers. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done the
No.
stats. I
You
can
see how you wait,
I,
wait. Do you see
I can
how?
find
Listen,
out.
no. Think about what you're saying. You're asking us, how do we feel? Because other cultures don't think like us. You let one white guy get on the microphone and talk. Now, all of a sudden, the whole culture that he represents thinks like that. But that's
No.
I mean, I
what
could kind of agree with her though. I could kind of agree with her to some extent that men certain men don't really care about what you make. And I would be honest, as a leader and as a man, a woman,
it
I
has,
don't care what she making. I don't care what her job is, to be honest.
it has nothing to do with a man's ethnicity. It has everything to do with a man's economic power. If a man makes a lot of money, he's probably going to think like other men who make a lot of money, no matter what his ethnicity is. For example, I get called controlling. I get called all the negative things that women want to attach to a man for behaving like him. Guess what? My woman doesn't work, and we're not married. Guess what? My woman hasn't worked for years. She drives a fancy vehicle. She lives nice. She gets to do what she wants to do. But that doesn't get highlighted and paraded. That gets, oh, he's stopping her from working. He's trying to control. Whoa. I embody what that man just said. Yet I'm demonized when I do it. I live my life every day.
By who?
Black woman.
Like
Black
people
women.
like you.
Hold on, Will. Can
Black
we
women.
segue into the fact
Black women call us controlling when we don't want our woman to work. I promise. They call us controlling.
Let Will finish. Let Will finish.
I mean, I wasn't even finished.
Hold on,
but he
guys.
can finish.
Guys, let Will finish, and then we can go from there.
No,
Go ahead, Will.
No, I'm done. Go ahead, Cookie.
Okay.
What I was saying, and I wasn't trying to you can relate to this man. What I'm saying is a lot of people cannot, and there's a conversation going around about 50%, half and half. And when certain people have the certain problems with that, women that take care of themselves, I don't show my body on camera. I think that's not okay, because I got people, a person I'm talking to. But what I'm saying, if you take care of yourself, you're pretty, and these kind of people approach you. What I'm saying is, how do men that aren't in that situation feel about men that say that? Now, mind you, I grew up in a neighborhood that was majority white. I was one out of 8 kids that graduated from my high school that were Black. And what I see as a culture growing up, this is taught to white men. And just like you're cutting me off, and I promise I will land the plane.
I'm not just saying what's taught.
The what's taught is, why are you asking your woman to pay for anything? Why are you talking about 50%?
What's
why
taught?
Huh?
What's taught?
What's taught is to be in a position where your wife don't have to do anything.
Wait. You're saying in the Black community that's taught, or in the white community that's taught?
That's taught in the white community off top.
So you're telling me in the Black community, the affluent Black community, they don't do the exact same thing?
I'm asking you because I did not grow up in an affluent Black community.
Well, then don't
you're clearly a product of an affluent Black community.
No, I'm not.
Yourself.
I'm a product of a impoverished Black community. I became affluent.
Okay, well,
so listen. I know. So I live in Atlanta. When I was married, my ex-wife didn't work. So this is not some newfound thing for me. My ex-wife didn't work. In my church community, there was probably 15 stay-at-home moms. None of these people were affluent. At the time I was broke. All of these people, nobody, only maybe 2 people in this group of people made over $70,000 a year. Maybe 2. So you got all these people making $50,000, $55,000, maybe even $45,000 a year with stay-at-home wives. It's not just Black wealthy people. It's not just white wealthy people. It's majority of people with money, but it's more of an economic thing than it is a cultural or ethnicity thing. Y'all got to stop acting like when y'all see white men who y'all want it both ways. Y'all want to talk about how white people have a 400-year head start on us. Then y'all want to sit here and talk about, oh, why can't y'all be more affluent financially as the group of people who have a 400-year head start on you? Like y'all comparing apples to apples. You show me the poor white man that makes $35,000 a year that his wife stay at home, and stop comparing the black man who makes $45,000 a year, want his woman to split the bills when there's a white guy making $45,000 a year and his woman splitting the damn bills too.
I
Y'all
just
be
had a
keeping the bills
question because
damn
I
much.
know where I'm from. I wasn't trying. It wasn't a setup. All I'm saying is,
Wait, were you raised in an affluent community?
yes.
Okay, so wouldn't it make sense that if white men who make money, who can afford a nanny or can afford to keep their woman at home, wouldn't it make sense that they do that?
Yeah, but I don't know. That's the reason why I posed the question, because I have not, just like y'all run into all these women, I have not ran into a black man that has not asked me about my finances on like first or second date. And I just be like, okay.
Cool.
And that's why the guy's white. He ain't asked me yet.
Did you ever date affluent black men?
Yes.
Give me the.
That's why I'm confused.
No, wait. Give me the dollar amount where you think affluent black men are. So the men that you're talking about that were affluent, what did they earn price point annually?
I didn't get far enough to ask.
Wait. So you don't know if they were affluent?
Yeah, I know that they were affluent, but I'm not doing a security check.
No, ma'am. If you don't know how much they make, you don't know if they're affluent or not.
I know where they work.
Okay, where do they work? What do they do?
What was that? He's an architect, one of the only black architects in the country.
Do you know, was he in the beginning stages of his architecture?
No.
How long was he in it?
He had been an architect since he's older than me. He had been an architect for almost 30 years.
Did he have his own firm, or was he
he was a partner? But it was a partner in a big firm in Atlanta, though.
He was whoa. Think about what you're saying. You're telling me that you had a black man who was an architect and a partner at a major firm, and he was asking you what?
He was just asking me about my income.
Okay, and why do you think he was asking you about your income?
I don't know. I'm asking y'all.
Why didn't you ask him?
I did, and then he got all weird, and I stopped talking to him. I'm just asking.
Wait. When you asked him, what did he say to you?
He said, "Why do you think?" And I'm like, "I'm asking you," and it turned into an argument.
It's because he really wasn't an architect.
I think he was right for the other team.
Cookie, tell us the truth. You dealt with a black architect who was a partner at a major architecture firm. You're on a date with him, and he's asking you how much money you make, and you asked him why, and he said, "Why do you think?" Yes. So did you ever get an answer?
No.
So you just made up your own answer?
No, I went home and thought about it, and I'm still thinking about it, and I started dating white guys. So my thing about it, I'm just, come on, let's be for real. That's what happened.
Y'all, listen, good morning, good afternoon, good night. What the hell are we talking about? Really?
Cookie, I guess
nobody believe this story.
I just want to know, like, I get. I can
give you his name, but he don't want to be named. And I think, can I be honest with y'all? Y'all know I'm the comic relief. I think he was batting for the other team. I think he was sabotaging.
Wait. So if that's the case, let's just say that's the case. Why are you grouping him into men as if that's somebody we should be actually considering for some of this data? Why are you doing that? If you think that man is gay, why are you talking to us and asking us what a gay man thinks?
I'm asking y'all why over several years of dating, because all I know is affluent.
Ma'am, you lying.
Okay.
I don't believe, and I'm saying I don't believe in mass.
That's so mean.
I don't believe in mass that brothers particularly are having conversations about finances when they're trying to get to know a woman in mass. I'm not saying your situation, Cookie, didn't occur, but I'm saying
see it on the internet all the time.
What the internet
really talking about this 50-50 people? And
Well,
I'm not talking about y'all.
Just
no,
came
I
up with
know
a
you're not. But
I'm
damn
talking about
story
the
to push a
culture.
narrative that
okay,
you
Yeah,
but
but it's
can I?
different from what a guy
Hold
says
on,
on his
y'all.
page.
Hey, guys, Truth was talking. Let Truth have it. Let Truth have it. He was talking. So go ahead. Please don't interrupt Truth.
No, all good. Appreciate it. I talked about this before. This is the problem that I personally have when we have this money talk about our community. And I think Will touched on it just a bit. When we look at our parallel community, the white community, even if you want to go the Asians, the Middle Easterns, what they do that we don't do is they collaborate. All families collaborate. What our women tend to do is they look at the end product. They don't look at the building from the mid-century on. The reason why Caucasians, Asians, and Middle Easterns men generally don't think about money in mass is because they're not dating on a dimension that is one-on-one. This is family collaboration. This is the reason why when they get married, they tend to know that they're walking into a home. They tend to know that that family has been building for that young lady since she was born. We don't do that. Our community is still fractured, which is why we have such a stress level on the exchange. But yet, there's no understanding that when you deal with the brother or brother's dealing with a sister, 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna have to build. There is no luxury. There is no revolving credit lines, trade lines. There tend to be, not in mass. It does happen. So the problem is that if 50 should already be understood. If we're dealing with each other, that should already be understood. Now, if you're in a position to where a man is in a position to where he wants to absolve you of financial weight, you should count yourself blessed. But unfortunately, what doesn't get highlighted is we'll look at the money that the other communities establish, but we don't look at the exchange. That same white man that you exemplified and showcased, their women don't have the attitude our women have. Their women are more likely to invest in the man on his come up rather than our women who will see a man busting his butt and won't dare contribute to that. That's the difference in what I see. But I digress.
Well, that
Good
same
stuff.
guy
Good stuff.
says not to do that, but I get what you're saying, and thank you for answering my question. For the person that called me a liar, think what you want. I got receipts. I'd send them to you in the back. I don't know how to do that. I'm on Stone Mountain with a guy. It's just that's what happened. That's what it is. I don't know why it happened. I'm still confused myself, but don't call me a liar because you don't believe me. I'm asking you what happened. I'm asking y'all, and this is the leadership that I get. I get called a fucking liar. So on that point, JR, like I told you before, keep watching Who's the Problem. Keep watching Who's the
So
Problem, JR. I told a true story. This happened to me. I was very vulnerable today. I've been very polite. And this man still managed to call me a liar because he didn't like my answers. And y'all wonder why there's a fractured problem in our culture. It's because men they have some men, some black men have an underlying hate for black women. And it's
Okay, wait,
okay.
let me
Hold
respond to
on.
that real quick.
Nope, let me finish. I'll let y'all talk the whole show, partner. They have an underlying hate for black women. And this is why I have slid to the other direction and got me a white man with bread. Because I'm tired of arguing with y'all about crazy things. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of being called a liar. I know about the debutante balls Fatima went to. I was forced to do that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go play softball. I was put in a dress and wore the white gloves and presented by my family. I come from a very affluent family. So I know how this works. I told y'all where I grew up. Y'all can Google my address and see what kind of house I grew up in. I'll put it in the chat. My whole point about it is, though, when you see women like me, or you see a woman like Fatima who's just curious and we're asking questions or saying, don't say all. Some women, we really love y'all. And I really, really want to love y'all so much. But for the most part, my life on YouTube has been constant insults because nobody can believe the life that I have been able to live because I had two parents that had bread, that were in the situation. I didn't have to pay for college. I ran track. I was fast. I'm a multinational champion. I'm on Hall of Fames, and I got people in on these random platforms talking to me like I'm crazy and don't know who I am. Y'all need to Google me and my friends because y'all are insane. I'm not the insane one. Y'all have no idea who y'all be talking to. And I'm just kind of over it. So that's why I moved to the white side. That's why I brought up the white dude. No, he not gay. He got bitches. Plenty of them. And he's teaching women how to not do that. And I didn't even need him to do that. My daddy did that. But I don't understand what y'all's beef with black women is. That's the problem in the society. Women
I
like I can't
promise
stand.
we don't.
I always correct
Go
women when
ahead.
they
Hold
say
on, bud.
black
Hold
men
on.
ain't. When they say I was talking most at this whole episode. When they say black men ain't shit, I always correct women like that. I'm like, your dad is black, your brothers are black. Stop saying that. But when you proven to me that you ain't shit, you ain't shit, and that is what it
Right
is. You
on.
call me a liar and
Right
don't
on.
even know me like that, sir.
Right
Okay, let
Nigga,
on.
I
me
Right
got
on. Go ahead.
brothers.
Right
listen,
on. Go ahead,
listen,
Will, and respond, and then Coel.
listen. Don't go nowhere. I'm talking to you now. Come on, let me see
Come
your
on.
facial expression.
Just
Okay,
I'm
say,
listen.
still
say what
here.
you got
I'm
to say,
just
Will.
doing something.
Okay, so look. I'm just curious because I don't get to saturate myself in the space of people who don't look like us and hear them talk about the issues in their communities. I tend to saturate myself in the places that people that look like me and in my community. This doesn't sound like it's your community anymore. Sound like you've completely divested, yet you'll want to spend your time in a space that you don't get, that you don't like. You say you try to like us or love us, but you don't. So I'm just curious. It's like, why not just go and be like, cheers, go everybody where everybody know your name, go where you're happy, go where you want it to be, where you want to be. And the only reason why I said you was lying, man, because you if you go back and listen to it, I believe it just sounded like you was contradicting yourself. And so if you don't believe you was contradicting yourself as a true story, it sounds like you was making it up as you go. I don't know how you knew all this stuff about this man, but you didn't know what type of income bracket he was in. I think if a
Because
man is
ladies
a
don't
major,
ask.
but I think if a
Did
man
you
is
go
a
to debutante school or no?
I think if a man is a partner at a major architecture firm, it's safe to say he makes a lot of money. You said you didn't know as if you had no idea whatsoever.
Well,
So
I thought you were asking for an exact dollar, sir. I didn't know that you were talking. I knew he had bread. If
y'all want
that's
to be
what you were
so literal
asking.
at times. It's so disingenuous how y'all want to be so literal at times.
But
Just
that's what I thought you were
okay,
asking
I
me.
accept that. I accept that. I still think you're lying, but cool, and I
But
didn't mean to disrespect you by
I
that. So
think
I
what
apologize if it came off disrespectful. I don't mean to disrespect you or be
I think what she
disrespectful.
presented was great, though, honestly, because this is a question a lot of the women in the community have. For whatever freaking reason, I was under the assumption that since we're so immersed in the community, you know why. Most of the time, you're hitting you're starting from scratch. That's just the reality that you're dealing with a one-on-one exchange. I mean, just the example early on in this panel, we talked about the child. It's the same thing. You're usually not walking into an established background. And I think our community, unfortunately, still has this mindset that if I'm dealing with you, Cookie, just use an example. If I have a good job, you have a good job, that's a one-dimensional exchange. But if the rest of my lineage has nothing, then the stress is on me. And then the stress may even be on you. So if I was to even marry you on that exchange, I'm having to think one-dimensionally. In other communities, they get to think about the relationship because they got backing. So if I was a white man and I'm looking to marry you, guess what? I've already been prepped to do so because I've been being prepared financially, educationally, culturally to absorb what it is to have a woman and a lifestyle at that level. Our community, unfortunately, is not structured that way. We're barely getting out the sandbox on how to even deal with each other on a mature basis.
You know what? And I can respect your answer, but you know what's crazy? Last week, they were calling this same rhetoric excuses. So you weren't here, but my whole thing about it is either we're behind or we're not. Which one is it, fellas?
Who said we're behind? I mean, who said that we were? What you said? Who said that? That it was
They,
excuse.
hey,
Fatima
they know
Denise,
who they are.
I said that we were behind.
Okay,
No, no, he's saying who said that it wasn't. When we talk about
Oh, okay. That's
politics,
the
they're
wrong
like, oh,
discussion.
stop. Yeah, you weren't there, boo.
Oh, okay, okay. My bad, my
No,
bad.
you're fine. When we talk about politics, it's like, oh, stop blaming a man. But when we're talking about relationships, oh, it's we're behind and we didn't have this and we didn't have that. So which one is it? Because I'm confused at this point.
well, I think it's reality, though. I mean, I think that this is what I think. Observing Black men, I think that we have a lot of pride, and the reality is that our masculinity is always under attack. But the reality is, you may be one figure out of most of us that have it right. That's not the community as a whole.
Right.
That's the reality. So, not understanding that this thing called marriage relationships is not a one-dimensional thing just speaks to the fact that we don't understand structure, like Will was saying earlier, in building. Relationships at the magnitude of children, marriage, tends to be the most successful when you have a community doing it. Our community don't have no community. That's the reason why it sucks. And financially, it's the same thing. So if I'm working at a Fortune 500, you're working at a Fortune 500, we can go into our community and probably find very few that may hold a position like we do. You're not connected to anything. Everything is on you. That's the reality. Most of us, I mean, what do they say? The Black community is employed by the government, and it's usually like the post office or nothing wrong with that.
Unfortunately.
Nothing wrong with that. But you get what I'm saying? But majority of what I remember growing up is get a good job, good benefits. That's what they drove. We're barely talking about entrepreneurship, ownership, stocks. People were terrified to invest in stocks 10 years ago. So,
right. So it's like old money versus new money.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. That's all that. See?
Okay,
Thank
good.
you for
I appreciate
answering my
we come
question.
to some type of understanding. Go ahead. And then Fatima, if you want to speak on it. Go ahead, Coel.
No, y'all got it.
Fatima, you got something to say, man?
I was gonna do the same thing, honestly, because I just digress.
Okay, so you ain't got nothing to say. Cool. I got something to say. Cool. I appreciate that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So about the part about asking what she does and how much money, yeah, I asked. I'm inquiring. I need to know. Because that's going to let me know how you really living. Because I'm going to look at how you living and the money you make, and I'm going to equate that you are bad with money. You don't know how to budget. You don't know how to save. You don't know how to invest. You don't know how to do anything. So I'm going to pay attention to all of it. I don't know why we don't talk about it more. Yeah, I'm one of those dudes who sit there and tell you about a third date, I need to know your credit score because I want to know what type of money you make. I need to know what you're about, what you invest your money in. I need to know all of this because I'm not going to turn my finances over to you because I'm a man who believes in one pot. So if I'm saying I believe in one pot, then we coming all together as one. And if you
now they're not gonna like you, Heath.
Right on, bro. So if you don't invest in the right things and invest in the things that I think is important and should be important, yeah, I can't get with you. You're not gonna make it with me. But sounds like some other people got something to say. Will, did you have something to say or Fatima?
I was just saying now they're not gonna like you. How dare you? How dare you say what you just said, Hank? Because you just validated whatever that dude said to Fatima, to Cookie on that date. Whatever he said to her, you just validated him saying that. But she took it as though it was some type of insecurity or insult or whatever, however she internalized it. She couldn't see it from the perspective of what you just gave. That's why I said earlier, True, when I was like, why don't people ask, what do you mean? What are you trying to get to, right? But that's why I asked her. I said, so did you just come to your own conclusion as to what he meant or what he was trying to ask you? She never got an answer. She said to this day, she's still thinking about it. Yeah, but she didn't get the conclusion. She didn't get to the proper conclusion with the source. So she came to her own conclusion. And the conclusion is negative.
The thing is, I don't.
So guys, hold on before you go, Khalil. Before you go, when JR puts the super chats up, I got to read the super chats. So when he puts them up, I got to read them. But go ahead, Coel.
No, I'm just saying I don't never ask a woman how much she make, but in conversation, I do ask her what she do. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't never just go weeks without knowing what a girl do for work, but I don't ask her like how much she make. Nah, never. And it's mostly just for conversation. To be honest, that's usually through texting. Like one of my first few questions, first couple of days. Okay, yeah, what you do for work? Get that
But
out of the
when
way.
you're communicating with these young ladies, Coel, are you going in with the mindset that you're just going to absorb all the finances if she's a working adult, or how do you walk that out?
Well, if I'm thinking that far, yeah, yeah. If I see this as a girl that, well, I ain't even got to do all that. When I do get in a relationship or I do get married, I'm gonna be paying all the bills like I do now. So it's just it's that simple. But so some of them I could just be having fun with one, you know. So, but if I'm looking at her like that's gonna be my girl eventually, she not gonna be. She gonna not once she move in, she not paying bills. She got her own spot. She gonna be paying bills. You know what I'm saying? But when she move in, she not paying bills.
So my thing is, what's the difference between Coy,
Co-will.
Coil?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. All right,
it's okay.
Coil. Why in our community there's the Coils and then there's the wheels, then there's the he. But I think about it is why isn't it's
I can
not a
tell.
straight.
I can tell you why, because
Okay.
it was a few Thanksgivings ago when once Kevin Samuels got real popular. It was the Thanksgiving after Kevin Samuels got real popular, and we was having this conversation. And my little cousin, he was like, yeah, when I get married, she gonna have to split the bills with me. And me and my brother was like, what? Like, nah, well, you can't do that. And then my auntie, which is his mom, was like, yeah, my son ain't about to be taking all care of the bills and da. She gonna have to do something. They learning it from their moms, and you got to understand. I'm like, I was born in '93, so I'm probably like, we like the last generation. Some of us in there, yeah. It's some of us in there, but we came up off the thing of equality. Y'all equal. They were telling us y'all was equal. You know what I'm saying? Like Hink and Will, they a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? So they probably grew up with the mentality. So, but us, that's why it takes us till we get about 27, 28, 30, 31 to really realize like, oh shit, I've been living my life all wrong, bro. Like you tweaking, you know what I'm saying? But we come up off equality. So we just, it's really nothing personal. Most men just assume that I'm paying bills, she gonna pay bills, let's pay bills together, and hooray. You know what I'm saying? It's never really, most of the time, never nothing malicious. You know what I'm saying? That's just their mindset and what we was taught.
Right, because one of my friends she's not from our culture. She watched the show now, and I told her the show is not for you. She said, I don't understand, and she asked me, I said she don't understand why there's such a rift. And then I was trying to tell, this is what I was trying to tell you about our community. You don't understand, but you need to learn, because if you're gonna date a black man, because that's what she was talking about, you need to know how they think. But I can't tell her how to think because we're like, I want to be able to tell her. All I tell them is they're good. They're good men. They smell good. I love the way black men smell. That's what I tell them.
I think that, and I'm good. I'm glad you brought this up, Cookie. It's great. I don't think there is a across the board thought when it comes to this financial exchange. I'll say that based on even this conversation we're having, because I respect what Hink said. I respect what Will said. I respect what Coel said. What I think is you need to figure out what's going to work for your household. That's what I think. I think that's the most universal way to approach it. But I also think that we have to give credence to the current market. The current market is that women work, and they're not working in the capacity where they're just cashiers. Women, in some cases, are driving finances to a level that some men have never even seen, right? It shouldn't, in my opinion, because I've had this conversation before in nauseum. If a relationship requires money, does it matter who has it? And I think in our community, I don't think we're there yet, because most men equate value to money only, and they do not grow past the point that my finances are definitely important, but there's other levels.
Yeah,
exactly. So if I already know, cool. So if I just so happen to be that dude that can attract a woman that just so happens to lap me financially, well, then now how do we deal with each other? I use an example: ASAP Rocky and Rihanna, because they're public figure, everybody know. I'm pretty sure ASAP's not tripping. I'm also pretty sure Rihanna's not tripping. In their exchange, he's financially successful. She's more financially successful, right? But something about our community, and it comes from poverty mindset, we don't know how to deal with each other where someone is imposing on the fragility of our position. Because most of us, again, what I was saying earlier, don't come from anything else. Your job is your resource. You don't have investments. You don't have things to fall back on. So there's no way I can carry the mindset that if you come into my world and cause some level of distress, that I know how to handle it. And I think our men try to carry their masculinity through, well, I pay all the bills. Okay, that's great. But in the current market, unless this woman, in my opinion, is facilitating motherhood, unless she is providing some level of capacity of work for your company, y'all meeting, you both single, don't got no kids, and y'all got income together, Hink says one pot. What is wrong with utilizing the resources to now invest in y'all future together? What is wrong with it? Why is it a sex thing? And
True, I wouldn't say that there's anything wrong with it, but naturally, that's what men do. Like you just said, like if two people come together, they're single, no kids, they're working and split it. Yeah, okay. But guess what? In 20 years, that man is still going to be wanting to work or not have a problem working. In about 20 or 30 years, guess what? That woman is going to want to stop, buddy. Maybe in about 10. You know, understand what I'm saying? So there is a difference. And people do got to pick what they want because everything works for different people. But we know in a majority, women don't want to work for the rest of their lives. They know that. We know that. You may have your outliers, but in mass, women don't want to work for the rest of their lives, have to get up every day and do that. That's simple.
Well, there's two things I want to say to this. First and foremost, can we be real? Can we be all the way real? And true, I know you know what I'm about to say is spot on. Although there are a lot of women out here handling their business, women in general in the Black community are not.
I agree.
The overwhelming majority of Black women do not make over $50,000 a year. Most of Black women don't even make $45,000 a year. That is most. That is 7 out of 10 or more.
Yeah.
So we talk like these women are just, women are in the workplace now. Women own businesses. Yeah, that minority is so small.
And they complain while doing it.
I mean, they own businesses, but they're not necessarily successful.
It don't matter if they own business or if they're successful. It's still such a small minority. And then when it comes to money, finances, there's a fundamental reason why I believe men should pay all the bills. I believe men should pay all the bills. Well, I don't care. I don't care what the financial situation is. My woman doesn't work a job, so clearly she's not going to be expected to pay the bills. But when we met, she did work a job, and she was successful.
Can I ask you, Will? Because I think it's important you set the precedence. Under what capacity, though? Because when do you pay all the bills?
She's a mother. That she's a mother, and so she doesn't work. Under the capacity, if we were to move in, if we live together and we don't have any children, I still will pay all the bills. She can make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year. I still will pay all the bills because I have a fundamental belief, and it's a structural belief. The person who pays for it dictates what goes on.
He's right.
Right. And if my woman starts paying bills, and you can say dictate in a negative, I don't mean dictate in a negative way. I mean, has the jurisdiction, the final say. My woman doesn't decide where we live, but she decides how we live.
Cool.
In our household, she cooks. I eat what she made me eat some damn sea moss just on a spoon just now. She's like, take this sea moss. I'm like, okay. I eat my diet is the diet she says for us to have. I know, but I'm saying my diet is not my diet unless I stray. My diet is the diet she says we have because she takes care of our family. She feeds our family. She decides what goes in this refrigerator. I just pay for it. And I don't overstep her boundaries. She don't overstep my boundaries. But if I say we're moving from this place, even if she loves this place, she's like, all right, we got to go. She don't fight me on that. And I don't fight her on certain things.
Go ahead.
I think that's dangerous, generally speaking, because women are not usually speaking to your structure of the relationship. They want to show up in your life with their individual bills. And they want to say now that because we're involved, living separately, the bills I created on my own, you're now responsible for.
That's what they
Y'all
saying
should
out
not
here.
do that.
That's
what they saying out here.
dangerous. And that's
And that's fine.
what I'm going. I'm sorry.
And that's fine. And I don't mind women doing that. You know why? Because you can do and expect whatever you want. It's the fella's job to say, not me. You can think that all you want.
Yeah.
Here's how it's going to go. Again, I'm going to pay every bill. So you don't have to worry about how expensive the light bill is, the water bill is, the gas, the rent, the mortgage, the car payment, whatever, the insurance. That's my responsibility. I'll figure that out. When I figure it out, though, if I'm going to decide where we live, though, if we're living in a place and the rent is $8,000 a month, if we're living in some type of penthouse, and I say, you know, we can't live there no more. We're gonna have to downsize, and we're gonna have to go to a place that may be $1,200 a month, and it might be in the hood. As much as you don't want to do that, this is what's going to happen because this is our circumstances. Now you can opt out of being with me. You have the freedom to do that, but guess what? This is where we're going in a discussion. And some women can adhere to that and some women can't. And I think the person who pays the bills has the final say as to how that looks.
Because that's how I grew
Yeah,
up, right?
that's yeah. I don't. I have the final say so, regardless if she makes more money or not. So you determine the submissiveness based on your income. That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Okay, wait. Okay, repeat. You have the final. So you're telling me if you make $50,000 a year and your woman make $300,000 a year, you saying you have the final say?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely.
In his relationship, he can have the final say. But in our society as a whole, that will never be the makeup that people subscribe to.
But as a man, we should move based off. But as a man, we should move based off what society tells us to do.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't have a problem with that. But you are finding a woman like I had to do. You found a woman that will subscribe to your ideals, and that's what men should do. Men should not be trying to compromise things. But because I tell you right now, Hink, I don't think you correct me if I'm wrong, Hink. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have a daughter. If your daughter was successful and she became like the Rihanna of the world, and she was dating an average Joe guy like one of us, would you be okay with that man telling her what it is and he spent her money the way he see fit because he's the head of the household? Or would you be like, nah, baby, that ain't gonna, daddy don't think that's right. I think you should find you somebody else.
No, if the man, my daughter's married, so she's already taken care of. But we had to make sure it was the right person for her in every way. So
So it's not her say. It's not her decision who she could pick. It was y'all's decision.
I chose who was the right person for her. Yeah, she didn't have a complete say. So she introduced me, and once she introduced me,
she didn't have a say.
Who didn't have a say?
Your daughter didn't have a say. I'm not mad at it. Listen, I accept it. I'm not mad at it.
Say I do. She had the right to say I do. That was her say. That was her say. But
so
it had to go through me. I don't agree with everybody else does and say and how they move. If that's how y'all move, that's how y'all move. I don't agree with that. See, that's what I'm talking about. That soft side, I don't believe in that. I was tough on everything we went through. I didn't see if I went that way. Okay. I believe in vetting the man, the individual who she's going to marry. And if he's not worthy, he's not worthy. I'm gonna do the same thing for my son and his future wife. Yeah, dog, I don't think she's the one for you, man.
I don't think she's the one for you is you just giving your opinion. But are you saying that they cannot be with this person that you don't approve of?
Now, at the end of the day, he's going to have the final say so, just like she did. She either had to agree with me and go with my recommendation, and then whatever consequence, the negative consequence comes with it, she has to deal with it. Don't come back to me and say about, well, Daddy, I don't care. I told you not to go that route, and you chose to. I'm gonna say good luck with that. I'm not involved no more. That's on y'all now. That's between you and them. I don't know. Now, if you listen to my recommendation, we can talk. Okay, what's going on? And I'm gonna refer him to go do some type of premarital counseling as well as postmarital counseling, because I don't believe in getting my kids' relationship. Because everything I told you up to you said I do, you should have learned between me and your mother. The example I set for you and your future wife, that's the example you should have followed. If you choose not to, and you choose to go another route, then you didn't take the lessons that I tried to teach you. Go ahead, Cookie.
So even though Will might be first generation from himself, but I grew up in a household like Will's. But my parents had money. My dad, not my parents. My dad had money from back in when the construction company or whatever. So I understand what he's saying. So that's what I couldn't grasp, because everybody around me and where I grew, the way that I grew up, I didn't understand going through life as an older grown up woman why men cared so much, even during conversations or even on a date, what I was doing, like what my finances were like. That's all that I was trying to get. And I was trying to see if it was a cultural thing, or is it just a class thing, or what you like, or an individual type choice. And what I've learned today is that it's a choice. It's just like because of the background of the other culture, the white culture, they have the liberties and the privilege to not have to think about, is this what you were saying, True?
For the most part.
How to build upon our finances to be great, because they were born into the white privilege, or with the privilege of in these certain types of classes. Is that what you were saying?
That's what I was saying.
So for Will's kids and Will's daughters will be asking, well, Daddy, why did he ask me how much money I make? You know what I mean? So it's not that I'm lying, is that I'm genuinely confused, because if my dad were alive, I would have asked him. You know what I mean? But I'm here asking y'all. I'm trying to.
But men across all demographics, even the affluent ones, generally do just like Will even said it in his explanation. If you're going to subject yourself, because I think, let me walk it back. What we're missing is that the relationship tends to be petitioned by the man, regardless of his economical status, right? What I believe generally men understand is that if I'm asking this young lady to be with me, I'm asking her to be with me on what I know I'm capable of. That's finances, energy, what the heck ever. What we assume is that she also understands that. And what I've noticed is that they don't, because most women, even current day, could have a provider man, could have a black man who be willing to take care of everything. But she'd have to be willing to subject herself to his true leadership, guidance, influence. Right. That's where the breakdown happens. Because we're operating as independents, you're asking a woman who has provided for herself, no matter how high or low, to subject herself to a man at whatever level he's at, without you now pushing it. Because his example was $8,000 a month to $1,200 a month. Most women would have an issue, because what you've done is you've now put her in a position to experience one thing, and it's changed. And
right, you to be like, wham, you know, like, boo, no, I'm not doing that shit. Yeah, I get what you. Well, that's not a person that loved you to begin with, first of all. But second of all,
you said it, not me.
Yeah, but second of all, like when we were building the family, the big house, on the lake. We had to go move to a condo that was not the size of the home we were in at first. The big house, the first big house was kind of in a neighborhood that was going left. And my dad says, I'm not raising, he got 4 daughters. He said, I'm not raising my daughters here. We got to go. And my mom was like, okay. And it was a house that he finished paying for, but her grandparents left her. So we left, we got into a condo, and we were looking around like, what? You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden one day we get pulled out of school, and he's like, hey, the house is ready. What house? Right? Mom's like, yeah, we're moving here. And it was great. We all had our own rooms. It was great. Right? So you get to where dad's got everything going. And you got a new one of my dads in Will, which is probably why we bump heads a little bit. And his daughters are gonna grow up and be like, well, my daddy did this, and my daddy did that, and my dad. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. But with that, hopefully Will be around to answer these questions, and the mom will be around to make sure she's still being the lady that she's supposed to be. But I genuinely didn't understand why a lot of Black men were so concerned with what women did for a living and how much money they made, because of how I grew up. My dad was just like, here, what we eating
So,
here, Mom was manager of the house.
so here's the thing. And there's nothing wrong with the curiosity, the confusion, or even the question, but we may not be the proper people to ask. Usually you should go to the source of the confusion, right? Black men in general is not the source of the confusion. That particular Black man or the Black men you dated are the sources, and you should ask them, right? And find a way to ask them in a fact-finding session more so than, because women don't ask this question like, why do you want to know how much money I make, as if it's a healthy dynamic. Because here's the thing, if I'm a man and I make $35,000 a year. Let's say I make $35,000 a year, and I don't look like it because I keep my clothes for a decent amount of time. I maintain myself very well, and I may look like I make $70,000, $80,000 a year. I shop on a bargain. I still got designer this, designer that, and I may have found good deals or whatever the case may be. Well, I may meet a woman who's also looking like she keeps herself up, and women don't seem to pride themselves on shopping on a bargain rack. They seem to want to have the latest and greatest. They do. There's some women who do. So if I think you're of that woman and you like the finer things in life, and I start asking you some questions, I'm probably qualifying myself. Or disqualifying myself. I'm probably like, you know what? Maybe this ain't a good fit for me. Now, I'm not saying the average guy is thinking that. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying your job to figure out what he is asking and why he's asking it. I don't see nothing wrong. I think it's so tacky that we think it's tacky to talk about finances when you first meet somebody. I'll ask a woman, I don't give a damn who it is. Hey, how much money you make? What? I don't care how much money she makes, but I need to know how much money you make. That's important. Like, if you don't have a job, I'm unemployed. Okay, that don't mean I'm not going to deal with you. But I need to know, why are you unemployed? Are you unemployed because you don't want to work? Are you unemployed because you have felonies and you can't get jobs? Are you unemployed because you're not a citizen and you're not legally able to work in this country? There's a multitude of reasons why. And people want to talk about everything under the sun. They want to talk about someone's sexual status. They want to talk about someone's STD status, but they don't want to talk about how much money people make. You think I'm going to tell you whether or not I have an STD and you can't tell me how much money you make? What foolishness is that? That's insane. If you want to get to know a person, you want to get to know all of them or some of them. For all these line sucker niggas out here to be like, it don't matter what a woman make. It do matter what a woman make. Even if you're going to do all the heavy lifting, it still matters what she makes. Because her money.
You're not going to keep taking shots at Coel, Will. You're not going to keep taking shots at Coel like this. Coel has
he ain't talking to me. He ain't talking to me. He ain't talking to me.
I agree with Coel what he was saying. So
No,
all
Coel
I'm
said
saying,
he don't care. That's what Coel said. He don't care. He ain't
Oh,
asking
okay,
shit.
okay,
I mean,
okay.
I'm gonna find out
no,
eventually, but I
no.
don't care because I'm paying
Listen.
the
But
bill.
Oh,
you
I
don't
didn't know you were
Let
going
me
there
clear this up and I'll shut up.
I'm
because we'll do be taking slick
Listen,
shots.
I don't care what a woman makes.
You
I
got
don't
next.
care.
You got next. Come, we got you.
When me and my lady met, she made good money and she had a great position in a well-respected company, making good money. And
you lied,
like,
Will. I'm just
huh?
playing. It was a joke. I said you was lying, but I was joking.
Oh. Well, listen, I liked what she did because it was what she did. She did it well. She knew it. It was she loved what she did, but I hated the hours she was working. And I'm like, yo, I gave her an alternate plan. This is how I knew we were going to be able to be in a relationship together. I'm not saying this is the only reason why I know, but this is how I knew. I asked her, she was juggling two lines of work. She had a great job and she was working on her own business. My lady has a tea business, right? She loves tea. And she had all these new chassis, or however you say it, chassis or whatever. All her stuff was branded. She was really trying to get her brand off the ground. But she had this conundrum. So she will work really hard, save up all this money, and then she'll take that money and dump it into her business. But then at some point she'll have to pull back from her business because she was in the film and television world. And you just take gigs. You could be like, oh, I'm not taking these gigs for a while. I'm gonna focus on my business. So when she would walk away from the industry, then she's like, okay, I'm in this conundrum because now the source of feeding my business has dried up because now I'm focused on my business. And then she will work her business as diligently as she could until she may hit a roadblock like, I need funding. My money is drying up. And then she will go back into the workforce. But when she go back into the workforce, her business is stagnant, right? She kept on with this. Go ahead. You got something?
I was about to say, sir, if you're funding her tea company, that is amazing, and just put the website in the link because
She
that
was
sounds like
she
you're
was
getting
funding her
her.
own teacup.
No.
I
This
know
is when
she
I
was
met her.
funding her tea company.
This is when I met her.
I was just trying to be a Gemini and guess
Oh, oh,
what
No.
the end of it was. But okay,
No.
maybe
So
I
this is when
wasn't.
I
Okay.
met her, right? So
Uh-huh.
then I propositioned her. We started dating and everything. I propositioned. I said, you know what you should do? You should quit this industry because you're gonna have to quit this anyway for us to work. This is a non-starter. You're working they be working like 70 hours a week. That's a non-starter. I said, but the tea business, I think you should put the tea business on hold as well. And I think you should do this over here. You do this over here. And I laid out this plan for her, and I said, this is why I think you should do. And once this is solidified, then you could take these proceeds and it can fund your tea business. And you don't even have to worry about it anymore. She loved the plan. She literally put her tea business on pause. She quit the industry and she started doing what I told her to do. We weren't even in a relationship. We was just dating. But the plan was so solid. It made so much sense. And she could see that he has vision. He has leadership. He has direction. I saw that she could submit. She could follow. She could take orders. I said, this is a good look. Lo and behold, she ain't doing none of it no more. She stayed at home and she just basket in the glory of whatever it is I could provide for her. And if I was not able to provide enough for her, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have taken this deal. But long story short, it worked out for us. But it showed me that I could trust and I could lead her, and it showed her that I can lead her, and it showed me that she could submit to me and that we can just love on each other without having to worry about that power dynamic. And so that worked for us. I wish other people can vet each other properly like that or help each other like that and then figure out if they are a good fit and not just, oh, I really like you.
right.
Snaps for Will. I'll give you your snaps.
Okay,
Okay, I
go
want
ahead,
to see.
Fatima. You got something to say?
Excuse me for coming on and off too. Like my daughter's sick and she got like kid germs from school. She got me sick
No,
today.
it's fine.
Yeah,
You gotta do what you gotta
gotta
do.
be around me.
Go ahead, man.
So, anyways, I think that first of all, there is too much emphasis put on 50-50. It's so much emphasis put on 50-50 to the point where nobody want even like nobody wants to really just like go all in together because of the emphasis. It's like you don't need a dictionary to tell you how to be in a relationship. It A man is a provider, right? But that does not always mean like financial provider. So like if he falls short sometimes, or if he's not a financial provider, like there are a lot of women that I know that are financial providers, but they still submit to the man that they married, you know? And also going back to 50-50, it's like, what does 50-50 mean financially to people? Does that mean that, okay, so I put 50% of financial responsibility into our life. So that means that I get 50% of what back, okay? Because the things that I see on the internet, and I'm just going off of like just random things, like the things that I see on the internet, it's like if I'm going 50-50 with someone, like why do they expect for me to like cook dinner or something like that? Like I just don't like that topic at all, because I just think that you should just be yourself in a relationship, and whatever happens, you just go with the flow, like if you meet someone, you fall in love, and you got a place, and y'all just so happy to be at y'all place and get married, and y'all at your place, like that's what it is, like you're gonna still pay those same bills, like if they was there or not. But I'm not saying that a man should be like excused of his responsibilities, because there are also a lot of other responsibilities that a man should take care of. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Like I have Arab in my background, and my grandfather, like he does not go for like none of that. So what I learned was, with the financial 50-50 thing, I think it's silly. I really do, because sometimes like even like back in like the olden days, like there were men who approached princesses that had all the wealth, all the fortune, and a princess married him, and he had nothing, just to solidify a family tie. And also, that was touching base on like when you guys were talking about arranged marriages, because I saw that type of thing happen too in my family. But I just think it's silly to me, honestly. I just think that in the modern world right now, like I think that we should focus on what can we do to be better for each other? What can we, like Tetris, to make our blocks like build higher or go crash? I don't know. It don't make sense. My bad.
The thing,
Shout out to Tetris.
the,
Shout out to
That didn't make
Tetris.
sense.
no,
Yes. Shout out to Tetris though, because
I get what you're saying, but the thing is,
No,
the
that's right.
problem is
All right.
we keep trying to remix it. Like this,
yeah,
men and women have been having relationships for hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of years.
for sure.
Like this is not new. So uh I don't understand the part that's so hard about, because you said one thing. You said, okay, maybe he doesn't have it all together and she has it, and if they just fall in love and they're at her place, that it. The thing is,
I
it's
didn't say it like that.
what did that's what you said, but what did you mean?
Okay, well, what I meant was sometimes
No, it's
people are
Coel. His
in
name is Coel.
sometimes people
Fatima.
are in different places, huh?
And so,
He's Coel.
bro, we ain't
Not
even
Will.
gotta.
No, it's no,
What
Coel.
did
It's
she say?
important because she gonna think she gonna call that man Will and think Will said something when Will didn't say it. Coel was asking you that question, man. Go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I saw him. Yeah, for sure. But that's not what I meant though. So what I meant was sometimes people are in different places in their lives, and that does not necessarily mean that that's who they are. I'm not
Okay.
saying build somebody up. Just like I was talking about, y'all need to know if a woman is making money or what her credit score is. I think that's very important. Because if you don't ask me what's my credit score, I'm going to look at you like you're goofy. Because
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you your credit score. Okay. So I definitely think that's very important. All I'm saying is sometimes people are in different places in their lives, and I don't think that people should hone in on certain things, because you don't let like natural occurrences doesn't happen when you do things like that.
The
Like
thing
when
we're
just
having
like
so much BS going on in the Black community. It's because people just don't want to listen. Like I was saying, this has been going on for hundreds of thousands of years.
because I think it's
You need
too
to find
It's
it. You
like
need to find. Hold on, listen. You need to find. Not even you. Not talking about you. I'm just speaking women in
yeah,
general. People. Women need to find a man that they like and let him lead. That's it. Don't overtalk that man. Don't try to step on his toes.
right.
Learn what he needs in his life, and if he can provide and uh add some provision into your life, cool. Find a man that you like and let him lead. That's it. And be, I don't want to say
Yeah.
submissive, just be the woman in that household. That's it. That's it. It's been going on for hundreds of thousands of years. We're
No, it's
making it hard
submissive.
now.
You use the right word.
Definitely, I
Submissive
agree
is
with
the
Yeah,
that.
be submissive, because women could say I don't
It's
want to be submissive and the man don't got it. But at the end of the day, you want a man to lead, you want a man to be the leader, and you want a man to have the final say. So you
right.
have to let that be and stop trying to work off I don't want to say stop working off emotions, because that's how women work, but women have to stop letting what they see in media control their reality.
I agree with that
I think
too.
that's what in our community we have a problem with. I don't want to even just say our
Yeah,
community, but they let what goes on in the media and what they see on TV dictate their reality at home. They see her going on trips, her getting all these bags, her doing all of this, and now they think they should do it. See,
right.
men don't really and never have worked like that. Men know, okay, them people famous, that it is what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's where it came from. This hall pass. You ever heard of people in relationships giving hall passes? Like, okay, oh,
Yeah.
if my girl found a famous, like, what famous guy that she's really attracted to and all that. See, I don't have that, because with my lifestyle and my life,
Famous people are
he
regular
may be
people.
one of the homies, or we might really be around there, and I don't need that. Ain't no hall passes, ain't none of that. I don't even want. So women just need to find a man that they like and let him lead. That's it. It's that simple. None
That's
of that.
true.
No back talk. Let him lead.
Can I ask you a
But
question,
Coyle, that's
Fatima?
not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on. Before let me say this real fast. Coyle, that's not necessarily true. Unfortunately, a lot of the men in 2025, we've been moving like women.
I
And
get
that.
I get that.
Hold on, I'll be right
But
back.
hold on. Let me
Cook
finish.
for the king. Cook for the king.
Let me finish. Let me finish. I get on men about that all the time. Some men talk too goddamn much. They don't listen enough. Some men are talking more than fucking women are. And we're not getting the intel that we need because we talking so much and acting like these women. And that's what I hate about some of the men that we seeing out here sometimes. And we trying to talk to them and have a conversation with them, but they don't even want to listen because they think they know everything. A lot of men are moving off what they see on social media. Like we just sit there seeing this white dude. Dude, man, he's one of those men I'm talking about that are moving like that. That's not how we should be moving. One of our problems, I think, Drew was talking about, we need to ask questions about finances. That's why we financially so far behind, because we didn't prioritize certain things. Those things that need to be had. Now we taking the mindset, no, we don't care about. No, we should care about what the women do in a career, because her career could determine on her mental. If my wife was a teacher at one point, I know with being a teacher, it's gonna bring a stressful job because she's gonna bring that shit home to me, and I got to deal with it. So that's important on me. How I need to come at her, how I need to address her, because I need to be more patient and more understanding, because I know she's dealing with kids all day, and kids wear on your head, right? So those things are important. I need to know those things. If my wife's a lawyer, I know she's gonna bring some of them legal issues home to me. So now I need to know how to operate and address her and come at her in certain ways. Say if she a CEO, she has to be a boss chick at work. But guess what? At home, that's not what you're gonna be. So, baby, you need to scale that shit down. You need to calm that shit down. Because I'm not your employees. I'm not your subordinates. No, we're not doing that here. So you need to scale it down. We need to have those conversations. All of those things are important. If my woman is a nurse, I need to know she's a freak out there in them streets. She just doing any and everybody out in them streets. Yeah, we can't be having that. Them nurses be hoes, Cookie. I'm sorry to say, but they be hoes. I need to know. Yeah, I can't get with you. Why? You a nurse, and I know how you stay
Why
out
don't
late
I
at
know
night.
these things? Like,
Well, I'm sorry, somebody failed you. They should have teach that to you, but I'm here for you. So if you out there working these crazy
I
hours,
really
I
need to
can't be
interrupt you.
with a
I'm
woman.
so sorry. I
Shout out,
really need to
shout out to
interrupt
Fatima
you.
for interrupting. Shout out to Fatima for
I
interrupting. I
can't.
got you, man.
I can't
I
let you
know.
say
Calm down.
that.
Calm down. Just go on mute. Just go on mute, and then you can rebut. Okay, I got you.
Alright.
So when you got situations like that, you need to know how to address them. You need to know how to handle them, and you need to eat. Hey, I can handle you working them late hours. Hey, I can't get with you. Either you got to quit, or I need to move on to somebody else because you're not the one for me. But Fatima wants it so bad. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Listen, I get where it comes from and how it came about and what the thought process is from nurses, but my god sister's a nurse.
Oh,
And that's what I meant by saying like the 100%, you know? Because sometimes you can offend the unoffended without even like selectively choosing one person. It's just the things like as a whole, like you can't like group like certain people up to things because my god sister just got married, like, and she's a lovely person. You know, like she's not a hoe. And she's a nurse. Well, she started as a nurse. She's
I mean, have you ever dated her romantically?
I don't think that has
So,
anything to do with
but
it,
you, yes,
but
it does. How do you know she's not a hoe?
okay. Like I said, yeah,
Okay,
So does
I'm
she
just
work long
asking.
hours? Does she work long hours?
I said what I said.
See, that's
Why do we?
I hate
Why do
when
we
women do
think
this.
we like? What's so funny is like when I talk, I try to talk, and if I think it applies to the majority, I may be wrong, but I believe it applies to the majority. That's why I speak on it. But people want to make arguments for the minority, and it's like, why do we do that? And it'd be such a small minority at that. It's like it don't even
Okay,
show
but
up.
why do we have to have so much emphasis on having 100% of the majority? Can we
Hold on,
like
hold on, hold on.
can
I
we
didn't say
give some grief to the people that are actually honest people?
yes, but the
Instead of
thing
saying
about it
like
is
you're discrediting these people that actually went to school, worked so hard and
nobody
paid so much
discredits their
money,
work.
like just to call them a hoe. Like this, I
They
don't think that's right.
they could
But,
still
but
spend the money and go to school and still be a hoe. That don't have nothing to do with it.
but Fatima, let me ask you a question. Do you believe women? Do you believe that you ladies are honest with each other about y'all's?
I would like to think so. I'm an honest person with my friends and my
Okay, so do y'all are y'all honest with women about how nasty y'all are with men?
well, I tell my friends all the things that I do with my husband. So
You say you tell all your friends all the things you do with your husband.
yeah,
You're
Cap,
married.
Jesus Christ, Lord help us.
cap.
You're married.
Yeah,
when
ma'am. That's a
when
bad thing. If that's true, what
when
you just said there and said.
Are you married?
She said husband,
can
bro.
he said her husband.
Bro.
can we digress?
Well, no, you're the
Yeah,
one
but man,
poking at
why are
me.
you telling your friends everything you do with your husband? That's disrespectful to your husband.
You the one poking and
Cause I
want to
only tell
address
two
that.
of them. I only tell two of
And
them.
the thing is, we're not talking
But
about your
listen, so
husband.
listen.
We're not.
You know
This
what you said?
conversation piece is not about
Fatima,
Fatima's
Fatima,
life,
Fatima.
okay?
Exactly. We about to get it off of
No,
your. We about to get it off of your life. We're not talking about
Fatima.
your husband.
Prove what?
Women don't do that in general.
Cause y'all not ready for
Fatima,
my life.
Fatima,
Fatima,
So
Fatima. Two
Fatima,
of what? What you said you always had two of them. What do you mean two of what?
no, I said I only
she's
have
talking about
two
her friends.
friends,
She's talking about her
and
friends. She's talking about her friends.
the person that I has ever been with or whatever, like he would ever always know like the people
Well,
that I would tell
the thing
anything
is, we
to.
got to take it off of. We got to take it off of her. Most women don't
Y'all making me
tell.
nervous. I don't like being in the
But you
spotlight.
brought it. But you brought up your own. You brought up your own personal information in. If you don't want, if you want to keep your personal information out,
Well,
then
I
bring it up.
didn't bring up
Fatima,
my personal information. I brought
Fatima.
up someone else's personal
Oh my
information
God,
from
Fatima,
them
can
going
you?
to school and being a nurse.
Okay, but then when we ask, once you bring up somebody
Yeah, I
else and bring up
stirred her
Fatima,
because I got
can you
nerve.
have to pause for a second and listen, please, please, please. Once you bring up something on one of these panels, you have to be ready for it to be questioned and maybe be analyzed and be expounded upon. You can't just bring something up.
Well, this
You
is
can't
my
bring
literal
listen,
second time, so my
listen,
bad.
listen. You can't bring something up on a panel and then once it's questioned about, go into a shell and be like, oh, I said what I said. No, if it's, you can do that, but that's not panel etiquette. But we're gonna get it off of you.
Huh?
Most
Panel
women don't.
etiquette.
It's
Do I
not
need to
panel.
Google panel etiquette? Maybe I need to go to
What I'm saying is we can't be having an intelligent conversation and you bring up something and try to make a point, and then we expounding on it to try to get more information, and then you shut down because maybe you realize you don't have a point or you just don't feel like going on about it. But if we're having a conversation, you can't just bring something up and then once it's questioned about, be like, oh, I said what I said, I don't want to talk about it no more. But to take it off of you, most women don't tell their friends how nasty they get. And maybe with their husband, maybe that's more family wise, but in general, with a guy they just having sex with, they not gonna tell their best.
Maybe
Let
your
me finish.
nasty is different from my
Wait,
nasty then.
Fatima,
Like,
as the older woman,
let
could
me
I
finish.
take this for
Hold
you?
on right quick.
no,
Hold on right quick.
okay, so let me just say this. Maybe your nasty is different from my
Y'all
nasty
can't,
because
y'all can't hear
like
me. Y'all can't hear me.
I'll be
Y'all can't.
talking about like
Y'all can't
you
hear
know
me.
like certain
Can y'all
things,
not
but
hear
like
me?
maybe your nasty is different from my nasty. So
Can y'all not hear
we
me?
can. I'll digress from that though.
With that stripper pole in that background, I
Can
don't
y'all
know.
not hear me?
The nasty might be.
Coel,
Well,
let her bury herself.
okay. So can
Hold
can
on,
I
hold
can
on,
I
hold on, hold
can I
on, hold on,
educate you?
hold
That's
on.
not a stripper
Fatima,
pole. That
Fatima,
is
Yeah,
a pole for exercise. I
stop.
take very good care of my
got you.
abs.
Can
So
you not hear me?
Right on.
Can you not hear me?
yeah.
Yeah,
All I'm
she hear you.
saying is most women don't tell their friends or anybody else how nasty they get with a they dude or any other dude. Like I'm pretty sure a girl ain't gonna go tell they friend that, man, I let this dude spit in my mouth last night. They ain't about
Oh,
to go
well,
say
okay,
that.
so your nasty is definitely different from my
Oh
nasty
yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, my
And
bad.
the thing is, if and a girl could say that, and the girl be like, "Oh, I might not like that," but when it's up in her and she feeling like that and she liking it, and that
Okay, that's
spit
a
come out,
lot. Okay, because
yeah,
it-
they not
you're
they
talking
not gonna
about
tell their
you're
friends
talking
that.
about something different from what I was referring to, but okay.
No, the thing is, that's why you have to listen. We're talking about in general sexual experiences. Women is not gonna tell their friends how freaky they get with no
Well,
dude.
if you
That's
was talking
cap.
about that type of thing, I wouldn't have spoken on it because I don't talk about like sexual provocative things like that on
That's freaky.
like
What are you talking about?
freaky is like never mind.
We were
So
talking about sex. So if you were confused, we were talking about sex.
Yeah.
okay.
Let me say this real
Whatever.
fast before Cookie goes. Yeah, Fatima, you shouldn't be telling your husband's business to no other woman or
That's
to
not
nobody.
his
That's between
business and
yeah. Y'all relationship is y'all business, and you shouldn't be telling it to your girlfriends. Because let me tell you what could more than likely happen. Your girlfriend could get curious and want to test your man. I'm gonna leave it there. Go ahead, Cookie.
Damn, she laughed like that happened.
Look.
no, it's
How we
I didn't
doing?
I
laugh
don't
like
know
that.
about
Go ahead.
I just think that it's funny
Koya.
how like you thought you dropped the mic or something.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, ma'am. I'm trying to help you. But if that's what you do, shout out to you. Go ahead, Cookie.
I don't know about Koya, but
Like, get her ass beat. Who?
every man over 40 on this platform know that before women get married, the majority of women do talk about y'all to their friends. Y'all do know that, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm not. But I didn't ask if you talk about the man. I
Call the
said,
group chat.
see, y'all didn't let me finish the line of
I
question.
didn't hear your finish, and I was just making. I didn't know about Coel, but she seems younger to me, and once there's marriage, yeah, you kind of want to like that up. Unless y'all have an open marriage and you're trying to recruit people to come in and be with your husband, then that's y'all business. But as far as when we're women and we're younger and we're just having relationships with our men, we do talk about y'all. That's
Yeah, of
cap.
course, y'all talk
That's all
about us.
I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
That's
we know that. We
like
know
I'm
why
not
that y'all don't
you
talk
trying
about
to
asking
us.
get
if
on me
y'all.
about it?
Details like we
Listen.
I was
talk.
just saying, like,
No,
why everybody
We
trying to
just
get on me
dismantle
about that
But,
when
that.
I just
but
said the
y'all
same
don't throw
thing?
yourself under the bus. Y'all don't throw yourself under the bus though.
Yes,
Like
we do.
It's just weird. It's just this is
yeah,
just weird to me
Well,
because like I literally just said
oh
that
yeah,
and like
remember I talked about let them talk. We listen. We get that intel. Go ahead, Cookie. Go ahead, Fatima.
No,
We listening.
no.
everybody get the intel.
The intel is I don't mind giving out intel because I thought it was a known fact. Women talk about y'all just as much as y'all talk about us.
we know the
If
thing
we're
is
in
I'm
the
we
not
know
dating
that.
asking.
stages, like physically,
Look, y'all. I'm
we
not
might even
asking.
send our friend a picture of your
look,
Your
y'all.
eggplant.
I'm not asking if we talk to each other about the other person, right?
Okay, what was the question? Sorry.
I asked, do y'all tell them how nasty you are?
Exactly.
Because here's the thing. Okay, people do some freaky things. And I don't know if people divulge all the freaky things that they do. So your friends may or may not know how freaky you are. But you know who does know how freaky you are? The person you had doing the freaky stuff with.
Right.
So if you're doing, I saw this video. I saw this video on YouTube. This guy had this girl reveal some truth. She had her back to the camera. She said, now you don't have to turn around, but can you tell us the nastiest, freakiest thing you ever done? And then if you want to reveal who you are at the end, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So she said she needed a good grade on her class or whatever. So she tossed her teacher's salad. Now, she said she got the grade. He said, do you want to turn around? She said no. So she never revealed herself. But here's the nasty part. So, you know, some people don't think tossing salad is nasty. It is what it is. I'm not a fan of that type of risque behavior, but whatever. The thing that was crazy is she said he could have cleaned himself better. But there was some that got in her mouth and she swallowed it. This is what she said. Now, this is a video, could be a skit or whatever. She refused to show her face and she walked off. He was like, you want to show yourself? She was, no. And she walked off. And so when we talk about
What got in her mouth?
What got in her mouth? Fecal matter.
That was so extreme, Will.
Oh my
God. Listen, I get it. And what I'll do is I'll send JR the video and then he can play it next time. Okay.
Why would I want to
Look, here's the thing. I'm only saying this because
Bill Hurt finish his story. God damn.
So many
you
women
think she told her friends
defense.
that?
So many women come to the defense of their friends. She's not this, she's not that. And it's like, you don't know. Like Coel asks, are you romantically involved with her? If the answer is no, then you're not. Coel, you know what's funny, bro? When I first started doing this whole online live talks and having these type of conversations, I had a conversation with this girl who was trying to defend her friend. I said something that women gonna get in the uproar. I'm gonna tell y'all what I said. I'm not saying I'm saying this right now, even though I still believe it to this day. I said, most women out here, they hollow, they dry, or they stink. Right? She was like, oh, that don't apply to that don't apply to my friends. I said, whoa. You can tell me if your friend's vagina stank. You can tell me if your friend's vagina is dry. You can tell me if your friend's vagina is hollow. You can tell me these things. She said, yeah. I said, how can you tell me these things? Because I know my friend. I said, no, ma'am. Are you penetrating your friends? She said, no. I said, so how can you tell me that you know these things about your friends? Because I can. This is the blind what loyalty, the
yes, the code, woman code.
Yeah, I'm going to defend their honor no matter what. And it's just like, you don't know what you're talking about. Just understand that you might know your friends intimately, but you will never know your friends as intimately as the man that's penetrating her. You won't. Just accept that maybe men know more about your friends than you do. She gone now, so it don't matter.
What kind of unsanitary women do you be interacting with, Will?
Random women on the internet, bro. I don't pick and choose. Shout out to me, who I talk to.
That's why he talk like that to people, because he think everybody.
Now what I said when the super chat come up, we gotta read.
Thanks for the money. Just keep dropping them 250s for JR in my name.
So go, Cookie, you want to read? You want to read the super chat? Sound like you want to read them.
Yeah, let me read that. Love your panels. Hopefully you'll hold women accountable today. Last time, people were holding Cookie accountable for her rude, obnoxious, and disrespectful behavior. The stream mysteriously cut out. 250 to JR. Video is sad. It's a cope, but what did he say? It's a coat, but I'll get more popular. Rather than fixing their behavior to get along with men, they prefer to have roommates with other women in these situation, same situation because of funds sad. Mr. Travolta dropping that bread. Won't go 50-50 with the man, but will split bills with another woman. You cannot make this ish up. That I agree with. Advanced perception, that's whack. Both women are good looking and should have no problem finding men, even as single moms. So it just be something in their behavior. Knowing when to shut up is a skill a lot of modern women haven't mastered. Another $250. Koyil is right. In our community, there's a general basic lack of respect for men by women. Women don't need to think you're a leader, but they show men basic respect. They This is respect, not common. For $5, Philly the Dawn. Respectfully, they only listen to liberal white and men they can control. Okay, Philly the Dawn. Whatever you say with the thing, I can't say his name
He
ever.
can
He won't
name.
be on panels. Okay, you got it. Overeducated women, overqualified for marriage. Go to hell. Philly the Don. He's a liberal white man pandering. Is he liberal? I'm pretty sure he's Republican. Don't nobody like no damn snow bunny. Stop. Who? I do have a snow bunny in my life right now. One out of three. I'm black and was never taught to go 50-50. Mr. Viz, we know. Philly the Dawn, I'm going to keep it real. I hate the fake black women who try to act like they ain't sold us out. Okay, I got brothers. Harris Davis, salute. Thank you for the $5 and non-derogatory marks, Harris. Successful MD. Anybody can put that in their name. Since money
Hey,
is key, why so many divorces among the wealthy and rich? Something is missing. That does not change individual characteristics. Ty Hoyt. Why do black women think it's hate when black men disagrees? Who said that?
Y'all do.
Nah, it's we just think y'all
N- n-
annoying just like y'all think we annoying. If
Come
we
on.
could all
Let's
just love
stay
each
focused on
other's
super chat. Let's get through
annoyance.
super chat.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Let's get through
Mr.
finish
super
your
chat.
Travolta
chats?
again that spent
Uh-uh.
$5,000 on the super chat. White dude is more, thank you, Mr. Travolta. White dude is more of a Derek Jackson, not a Kevin Samuels. We ask women that they bring to the table, what they bring to the table, not referring to some money. Successful men don't care about what a woman makes. What men want, we want her to be not lazy, but feminine.
And Cookie, just so you know, this is foreign exchange, so it's not 250. It's got to be converted to whatever it is.
Oh, I couldn't see. I don't have my glasses on. Oh, so it could be $2.50. Okay. Successful MD $2, American dollars. A person that does not put in work rarely invests. Okay. Okay. Um, Big Ant 11, excuse me, $10. Are there any black men like myself that's going to lose any sleep? I can't fit. He said loose, Loose, any sleep, cause Cookie dating a white guy. Eagles won the Super Bowl, and the Lakers are playing good. They're playing well, sir. I'm sleeping like a baby. Bad, my bad. He laughy face, laughy face. What the fuck? Go back to grammar school. Prime VA $7,575. Most Asian couples help each other with household bills, and women still understand that men are the head of the household. Teamwork works. Yes, you're correct. Good job. Tracks $10. In other cultures, no matter how much the woman makes, she always respects her husband. Unfortunately, with black women, money lifestyle dictates the level of respect given. There's no respect for men in men in the black community. $1.99 T_D_. Then y'all for reminding us of Bobby who? Go back. Bobby Christina? Hmm. Unemployed because you depending on child support? Question mark. Who is unemployed? It's important. Okay, advanced perception. It's important to know all of your teammates' stats. Thought y'all was leaders. I'm gonna oh, whatever. Successful MD, $2. Women equal no to 50-50. Divorce equal women want 50 plus. Not all women, but I wouldn't want anything if you cheated on me. Just leave me the hell alone. Coil. Women don't find men. Oh, excuse me. Advanced perception. Women don't find men they like and let them lead. Problem is those men usually end up being pookies and ray rays. Y'all
Damn.
talking about each other now? At Fatima, $2. You don't listen. That is very childish.
Yeah.
Kenneth Percival. Your picture, bro. $2. That's all you got for me. Cookie looked like that lady on the syrup bottle. So does your mammy. Sir, you look like
Damn. Come on, man. Come on, Cookie.
I got a wrap on, baby. It's hair under here. Let's keep going. Mr. Travolta, 125 or wherever
Oh
the
my
hell you
God,
from.
Cookie.
Why did you get this clown to read the super chats? Again, the angry black woman stereotype. No, I'm just speaking in my code switch
Oh
voice.
my
It's
God.
embarrassing. Is it or is your grammar embarrassing?
Jesus Christ.
They want to talk shit. You want to run your mouth. You want some
Hey,
gangsters around this street.
did
We'll
he talk
send you
about
some
that, Jamal?
jobs, right? Come on, man.
They
Hey
said
man,
you was an angry
shout out,
bird.
They set it up.
shout
They
out to
like
Aunt your
they
mama. Aunt
asked
your
you like,
mama's
is the
got some good
reader?
syrup. I don't care what you talking about. I'll use
It's
that syrup
not
in my
Aunt
way.
Mama no more, Hink. It's called like something trading company or something. They changed the
Yes, like
name
watermill
and
or
they
They
changed the
something.
changed it.
logo too. Yeah, they took Aunt
What
Mama
about
off the.
is Uncle Ben still around?
I look like I
Yeah,
got
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben ain't on
Hey,
the rights either.
you
They
know
took
what?
him out.
You know
Damn.
one thing I wish black people stopped doing. I wish black people stopped saying that the things that exist in our culture don't happen in other cultures, as far as like you don't know what Mexican men and Mexican women deal with behind closed doors. You don't know what Asian men and women deal with behind closed doors. Hell, you don't even know what white men and women deal with behind closed doors. So y'all just stop saying it because y'all sound stupid every time y'all say it.
I don't know if
Hey,
that's
no,
I
can
don't
I
know if
say
that's
something real
fair to
quick? Can we
say.
stop talking about our own culture's hair? Talking about I look like the syrup lady. You
No,
want to
no. If
say
you look
that?
like the syrup lady, you look like the syrup lady. Now
No,
that's
I think
something
I look
totally
more
different.
like a Harriet
I
Tubman
just think
rather.
that people should give people more grace. Like it's everything not shouldn't be that serious all the time.
Fatima,
Wait, wait,
Like
wait.
you
Real.
sit there
Grace
and
or what?
Fatima, you sit there and said you was telling your husband's business to your friends. Or where's the grace at for your husband?
Yeah,
listen,
that's why I
listen.
want to
You,
know what
I
you
was
talking
misunderstood, but we could talk about that another time right now. Like for real,
about. Okay,
I
because
know
I
what
it.
don't.
area
I
what
don't like
area do
listen.
you think we should give more grace in?
I mean, I just in your heart. Period. Just grace. Period. Just
Y'all
as a
always be
whole.
so vague. Like
In your
y'all
heart.
make these
Okay,
comments.
well, I don't know how to answer that question. Like I don't have a direct like statement to that. I'm
You said
But
we
so
need to be more
how
what?
would you know if you see it though? Like,
graceful. Like
how would you know if it's
okay,
happening
so I
in
was misunderstood. Let me just clear this up really fast. Okay. I said that I told that to my husband, right? When I said my husband, I meant my husband at the time, okay? Right? But it was perfectly fine. Like I'm on FaceTime talking to my friends about things while he's like literally right beside me. It's not a big deal. But maybe we were misunderstood about freaky, 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 freaky because after I heard what y'all were saying about freaky stuff, like that's completely different from what I was discussing with my friends. So I just think that
Yeah, the question was, do you don't tell your friends how nasty you and your partner get? That was what was said.
and you said you do.
But she
well,
misunderstood it. So it's
okay,
okay.
I'm
Mm,
misunderstood.
all
Like,
right.
right? Okay. So
Okay.
And the
I
thing is, while
I'm
women
just
can't
saying
get
like every time I say something, a word, a sentence, a verb, an adjective, like people not finna be jumping down my neck, okay?
what
That's
Are
what
you
I'm talking about,
serious?
Grace. Like you can't just automatic like, oh my gosh, she finally said the buzzword, jump down her neck. Yeah, like no, we're not gonna do that.
the thing why men are tired of giving grace is because we've been giving grace and we don't get no respect. I mean, individually, I think people in my life, they respect me, but I'm just talking about in general, men from women in our community, they don't they disrespect us more than I can see them respecting us as a whole. and then they ask us for stuff like grace.
Well, I don't know, y'all. I think we got to be fair.
I don't really care
I don't
if
get a
y'all
lot of
don't give
women
grace no more or
disrespecting.
not. Like, I really don't care. I'm good
But you
over
just
here.
brought it up.
I don't
I'm
think.
just.
I
This is a
don't think.
panel. We're talking about things that can be discussed within the community. Okay, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm just saying.
Oh, but no, but you just said I think you. No, your statement was I think we should just have more grace. That's what your statement was.
That's what I said, or
Yeah, but look, Coel, we know who she wants the grace for.
Yeah, she want the
She
grace
don't
for
care
them.
about us. She just want that female grace. Come on,
Well,
man. We know
y'all,
what it is.
let's
I
be
bet
real.
you. I bet you. I bet you won't be hearing no Fatima Denise gracefully voice no more. If you can't treat people like that. Okay, it's not funny.
Hey, can we be real? Can y'all tell me? Because in my lifetime, I'm 42 years old. I can't say that black women just be disrespecting me. Like I haven't just run into disrespectful black women like that. I understand that black women are not necessarily submissive to guys like we want them to be, but I guess I don't date women who are just disrespectful. That's not my history. So is that y'all history where the women y'all?
No. It's like certain things I may see online, or even like something that may happen in public. You may say, "Hey, how you doing, baby girl?" And she'll be like, "I ain't your baby girl." Like, all right, and keep it
Oh
moving.
my
Well, I'm not,
gosh.
and the thing is, I'm not even talking about you. To be honest, I wasn't even talking about our.
Okay, like you
I wasn't
use
even talking
that.
about our thing, but see, but that may happen though, and that has happened. You know what I'm saying? Or a girl be like, "Why you talking to me?" You know what I'm saying? You be like, "I'm just keep going." You know what I'm saying? Or you be like, "Let me help you with this," and she be like, "No, I got it. Don't." And you be like, "Okay." You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna
That's
lie.
not disrespectful if
I was
somebody
talking.
say, "I
No,
got it."
the thing is,
Sometimes,
no,
sometimes
listen.
people be battling with things and they need to
It's the
show
thing,
themselves their
y'all always,
strength.
and this is what you're talking about. The thing is, nobody cares about that. You can't be rude to people no matter what. Nobody give a fuck about how you feel inside.
Wow.
You can't be
Why are
rude to
you
people.
talking like that?
Because men don't get away with just being rude to people and say, "Oh, I feel this way." No, nigga, you rude. I'm
So
punching
y'all think that I've been
you in
rude,
your mouth. You
basically?
rude. I'm punching you in your. You being rude. That's what you're doing. Oh, all right, bet it's no more talking.
So basically,
I'm
are we saying that Fatima has been rude?
Oh shit!
That's how you get them white boys, ain't it, Cookie? That's how you get them white boys, girl. Go ahead. Show them how you get.
And then like the way, like okay, yeah.
Bro, that is not Cookie, bro. Did you put on a wig?
Where's the super chat?
Bro, she wouldn't have switched it up on us. What you mean that ain't? She
I put
transformed.
on my Fenty and my hat, my fedora, and then pull down the wrap.
He put his glasses on.
I had to see who that was. Damn.
Hold on, Colia. Now, even if that is wig, there's some men out there that don't mind a woman who wears a wig.
No, my thing is, hey, there wasn't a bad thing. I was just asking, was it a wig? Because the change was just so quick. You feel me?
Yeah, I threw one of my wigs on.
Oh, see, it's all good. I ain't trying to.
My hair is this long though. When I get it
No,
pressed
you
out.
cute. No, you cute. I see you.
Oh, shit, look, Colia. Now he's switching it up.
Looking like
He's switching it up.
Yeah. I ain't even got no lashes or no eyeshadow on.
Hey, but that's good though.
You was just talking bad about it. Now you ready to get with her.
First of all, I never said anything bad about her though.
Hey, Coel. Coel, when you pull
never
that,
said nothing bad about her.
when you pull that ribbon,
Will, he ready to take him from that white man now.
I know. That's why I'm about to remind him. When he pulled that ribbon and that wrapping off that packaging, it's gonna be the same old Cookie underneath.
Oh my god.
No, my hair's long.
No, I'm not talking about your hair.
He ain't talking about the hair. He just talking about the
Oh, my attitude.
Yeah.
This why though. This why I'm getting ready
But
to go.
see, in person, all that shit switch up, bro. Especially like once they smell that cologne and they get your vibe. Now, if you a hoe ass nigga, then they might sense that. You know what I'm saying? But once they smell your cologne and you genuine, that internet
I
should
love
be.
how black men smell. That's why I be trying to love y'all.
The internet should be dead.
Hey, shout out to Cookie for flipping the look. Hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I got you. We're gonna give final thoughts, and we're gonna start off with my man Khalil. But first, we're gonna read the super chat from Ikane. Cookie is looking like a black husband. Looking for a black husband now. Okay. There's absolutely no way Cookie has a man. She is some.
I do.
And she wonders why. Damn.
I don't wonder why.
Yo, I made her change her clothes. I got mind control. Shout out to the gooch. But we're gonna start giving a final thought. So Khalil, we're gonna start with you, and we're gonna end up with me, if that's all right with you guys. So go ahead, Khalil.
Right. Yes, Khalil.
Khalil, I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to mispronounce your name.
It's all good, bro. It's all
I
good.
need to steam my head.
Yeah, man. I just think people been doing this shit for hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of years. It could all be so simple. Man, learn how to lead. If you don't got a dad or uncle or a brother to teach you how to lead, read some books. Women, find a man you like, that you're attracted to. Follow his lead. Even if you may not like the direction he going, as long as you agree with the destination, follow his lead. That's all I gotta say.
Right on, Khalil. Truth, what you got for us, big brother?
Yeah, no, great conversation. Thank you guys for allowing me to participate. It was a good time. I do want to continue to see these conversations develop. I think we have surpassed where we once were at some point, and I think things are starting to unfold and some questions, are being answered. I will encourage, though, that our community specifically expose themselves to more, because as we are a unique community, we are all still human, living this human experience. And a lot of the things are not too far removed from most people. So that's what I'll say. You guys be blessed.
Hey, shout out to Truth, man, for making a guest appearance with us. Right on. Brother Will, what you got for us?
Man, I think we really need to put a pin in where we at as a community, and because we really don't have a community. But I think we need to put a pin in all of our rhetoric, all of our perspective, because we're leading further and further astray. All of us are. Now we can lean on my philosophy just a little bit, and I'm gonna selfishly plug myself. I believe structurally we need to figure out where to go, right? Even if before we take a step, structurally plan out where are we going, what do we do, how do we move, and then when we can all agree on certain things, start to slowly but surely change our rhetoric, start to change some of the things that we say and do, and then that will help us get somewhere. But as long as we keep on acting like individual tentacles on an octopus, the octopus is gonna be stuck in one spot because we're all trying to go our own directions.
Shout out to you, brother. Sister Cookie, go ahead with your final thought, man.
My final thought is, if you don't ask questions, you'll never find out. And when I get on panels, y'all like, we should speak to the community. So, and if I'm asking y'all a question, it's serious or it's a concern that I've heard from the community itself. It don't always necessarily got something to do with me. Secondly, don't think for 1 second, because I come up here in my PJs with my hair wrapped, that I cannot get dressed in 5 seconds. This face dark card don't decline. It'll never decline. I even got makeup on. I just got on a little lipstick and put on my serum. So what I need y'all to understand in these comments is it's easy to talk to a female bad when she look like shit. But when I go show you my physique and put on my push-up bra in my Rihanna onesie, all of a sudden it's Cookie trying to get 8 in the comments. Cookie been getting 8. I ain't got no problem finding a guy.
God dang.
Yeah. On call. So don't worry about Cookie. Cookie okay at home. Just like Will okay at home. Just like I'm sure Coil is okay at home. True okay. I know Hink okay at home. We're good at home. We're having a discussion. So if y'all think y'all can come see me every Sunday and know my life, you're wrong. I ain't paid for that. I don't pay for none of this shit. I'm fine. I'm fine. Trust me. That's all.
Right on, Sister Cookie. Right on. And
He
to prove her
already know.
point,
He already know.
to prove her point, Khalil's in her DMs right now as we speak.
I'm swell. I'm not fat. I wear big sweaters. I'm swell.
You're crazy.
I'm swell. I wear big sweaters on purpose.
He sent her friend request and everything.
No, we not doing
Shout out
that.
to my man
My
Khalil.
closet big for a reason. Baby,
I know that's right. I know that's right. Cookie
Thank
looking
you.
good. That's what somebody scorched her herb said. Cookie looking good.
I
Shout
got
out to
about 5
Scorsese.
fedoras out there. I'll be out here looking like Darkwing Duck in these when I'm out on
I
dates.
know that's
Not
right. You go, Cookie. Shout out to Samuel Jr. Cookie's
Y'all
been
hilarious.
given the face.
thank
I
you,
know that's
Angela.
right. I know that's right. But look, my
I ain't never been
final
ugly.
thought for the I know that's right. Shout out to the ugly people. For my final thought for the day is black men, protect yourself at all times. Whether you got to get on somebody's couch or somebody's Zoom meet, do what you got to do for your mental. Hey, for a man of a certain age, like Truth's old ass and Will's old ass and my old ass and JR's 56-year-old ass, hey, man, go get your A1C in order. Go get you a full physical. Hey, prostate cancer is real. Make sure you guys are getting colonoscopy and make sure you taking care of your business, man. It's real out here, black men. So do what we got to do because we great and we want to continue to be great as long as we can. So shout out to all the black men out here. Do your thing. And with that being said, JR, I don't know if you have a final thought, brother. If you don't, we can get on out of here. Great show, guys. And I appreciate you guys being here on a good